Oh, old Minecraft music. It always makes me so happy. It's such a shame it's must have been removed from the game. Huh. That is interesting. Can I just, like, click that and just instantly launch into a server? If so, that's pretty cool. I only ever play on one server. Oh, yeah, there's a quick play. Oh, fuck yeah. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Oh, man. Streamer mode's awesome. Friend just messaged if anyone was open to play as I had opened, my OBS, which instantly turned. Oh, come on. Oh, God. Let me get myself to a safe spot. Jeez. Well, no more than the other is truly a safe spot, but I suppose that's, where? In, where the heck is my chat? Why can't I find it? Has it just been that long? Man, there's my audio mixer, but I don't have my chat up. Strange. Oh wait, what is the stream even named? I don't even think I changed that. I am out of practice. My goodness. There we go. Edit. Oof, that is the wrong one. Grinding in Minecraft. Definitely not the Desolate Hope. Not what I am playing. I like how I look up mine and the first thing is not Minecraft. Because I'm going to be playing the hit indie game, Mine. Minecraft Survival. Sure, that's a good tag. Why not? Right. Notification. God, I am really good at this. Yes! Greatest streamer around. Seriously, I don't know where my chat box is, and that's a problem. I know there's an option for it somewhere. Maybe view. Go to view. There it is, chat. Okay. Chat's up. Streaming, grinding Minecraft. For the past, I don't actually know how long. Maybe almost a year. I've had a little project going up here on the nether roof, as you can see, and there's bedrock everywhere, and the fog. And part of that, oh, should move my mic, yikes. Part of that is this here lava lake. It's very large, and it has taken a lot of work to get it to the mostly unfinished point it's at now. This is about maybe 20 shulker boxes of lava, and it's just this corner is filled up. Like, there is a lot of lake left to fill. Oh, and it will take a long time, which is why I'm streaming it, is so that way I don't just sit here doing it. Because otherwise, I'm gonna be sitting here just doing this for like ever, and that's not ideal. I think this project's turning out pretty good. I'm getting really good at telling where the lava source blocks are at. Because like the flowing animations are a little confusing, but pretty helpful once you kind of start to understand them. But they are very strange. It should probably be redone because they're just very, very strange. I think I've worked on this lake here for about, oh Jesus, I don't even, I think this is like 4 hours of work or something, and it's maybe 8% done, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to see the horrible network of scaffold blocks I use to make sure I'm always in a new area. You know, that'll be interesting. Given that it's already looking pretty funky, and this is an easy area to fill because it's pretty small, right? It has easily defined borders. I don't even know why I got scared by that sound in the Minecraft music. There's no grass. I'm in the nether. I guess there could be. What's grass look like in the nether? It probably looks horrific. I mean, most grass in the overworld doesn't even look very good, much less literally in hell. The music settings at low. So low. Why is that all scans? I need to switch up this playlist because every now and again this song Death shows up, and it seems like it's just death sounds. Like it's like walking on grass and then a chicken dies. It's like, man, C418 really kind of got out there with his music towards the end. I still prefer his music over the modern stuff, but it's a pretty low bar. I mean, it's not. The new music's good. It's just it's missing a certain something, you know. Oh, I did not put down the extra buckets. Whoops. That's gonna screw everything up. I found a lot of enjoyment in building the nether recently, because usually I build, well, actually, I'm not super happy with either of these buildings, but usually I had a tendency to always build in desert biomes. I think I just used to really like desert temples. I used to think they were one of the coolest structures. I don't anymore, but like I used to like I remember like drawing these grand elaborate plans for this, like what I thought would be the perfect desert temple base, and it was like just a desert temple, but it had a cool walkway and a beacon in it, because it was like 2015, and so that was considered cool at the time. It was just after, I think it was just after 1.9, because I remember wanting to use end rods because they were like still new. That's a crazy concept, that at some point end rods were new, and yet they've been here for so long and no one uses them because they're so hard to get. A lot of they're pretty easy to get, it's just it's a huge pain to get many of them. The one problem I have found with building in the nether is it is almost impossible to stop mob spawning in the nether. like, I think most creatures spawn below light level 11. So this pattern is like the only way to stop mob spawning. And even then, it only stops most mobs. Ghasts can still spawn, which is awesome. I definitely don't hate ghasts a lot. I have a plan for it though. I just need a lot of wool. And I don't have that much wool. I need to get these trees fully covered with this cyan carpet. Because it's the closest color you've got. Like, it is pretty close. I would love if I didn't have to put so many lights around. I haven't covered all of them up yet. But you just have to. If you don't want piglins, regular and zombie spawning, that's just what you gotta do. You better get used to it. And I didn't really want to get used to it, so I just did that. I originally thought, like, you could have more blocks in between them, but then I learned that I was stupid and misread the wiki. And so here we are, and now ghasts still spawn everywhere, but I installed a plugin on this server, not a plugin, a data pack, to stop griefing of ghasts, because it was more annoying than it was worth to just, like, I could easily just shut it off and never have to deal with it again, and that was way easier than constantly fixing holes everywhere in my terraforming and builds, because so few blocks that I have used are ghast resistant, and most ghast resistant blocks aren't amazing. I mean, most blackstone is, deep slate is, but it's like the logs and stuff that aren't, and it's mostly logs and stuff. I need to put windows in this building, and I need to finish this one. I think I've been thinking about this building for a long time, and I can't put my finger on what's wrong with it. I think the window is one block too high. I think the window touching the roof looks terrible. I think. This building's been here for a long time, and I haven't even finished like a floor or anything. I just move on, because if I stay put for too long on a build, oh Jesus, it's like I would have just died there, but no ghast griefing. I think of it in the same way as I do Enderman, where their existence and the blocks they take are like, they're more of an annoyance, right? I can fix it, I just don't want to always be fixing it. They don't spawn, Endermen actually don't spawn up here, because this isn't the right forest type vibes. The amount of ghasts I've killed is truly insane. Like, ghasts are one of those creatures that you don't kill very often because they're kind of a pain to kill. But I have been working almost non-stop in the Nether for like a year at least. And so I've just had to kill so many of them because I keep creating places where they can spawn, because they just look so good. Okay, well, these don't. My weird scaffolding does not look good, but it can still spawn ghasts. one managed to spawn, and it's like, how did there's like, it's one block. How did you manage that? Look at all this beautiful flat land out here you could easily spawn on, but instead you spawn on my over lava scaffolding, because that's normal. Ugh. What enemy? Definitely guests, top 10 enemies ever, definitely. Definitely. I was kind of putting off doing this for a long time for a multitude of reasons, but mostly because I did not want to get literally thousands of buckets of lava. So like I set up that little cave over there that's got some dripstone in it, and I foolishly believed that, like, over time, like I'd spend enough time close enough to it that it'd be in simulation distance, that it would fill up enough that I could kind of chip away at this project every now and again, you know. Like I'd finish building something, and then I would grab some lava from it, put some down, and then I'd go back to building, and I'd grab some lava from it, put some down. And I did that for a little bit. And then I realized that it would take a million years to do that. Like, before all these platforms got here and I started grabbing shulker boxes of lava, I think it was like this area was filled, and that was it. And that was that was after. Can I see how much time I've spent in the Nether? Probably not. That'd be cool though. Yeah, well, I guess time since time slept in a bed, world open, last rest. I think that's a pretty good show because you can't sleep in the Nether. So 5 hours. That's actually not huge. It's definitely more than that. It'd be nice if you could see that, but it doesn't look like you can. How many ghasts have I killed? 230. God, that's a lot of ghasts. I've only killed one pig. Wow. I've killed more silverfish than I have pig and sheep combined. Player. I've only died to a player. Wow. That's oof. Yikes. Bad at the video game. I guess I always kind of knew. Then again, I don't really duel with my friends very often. Actually, my friends aren't on here very often, so that's really the core problem. No one to duel with. And also when we do, it usually just ends up with us throwing tridents at each other and not actually getting anywhere. Because we both have, everyone who has a trident has enough armor to just survive tridents. So we're attacking each other with tridents just forever. It's pretty funny though. And you know what? That's half the goal of playing with friends, is to just have funny moments that you can then edit into a YouTube video and then make a bajillion dollars. That's the goal of every friend group right there. Never understood that. Like, I think I've streamed with friends once or twice. Okay, I've actually streamed with friends quite a few times. they're gone. It's like they never even existed. Recently, I haven't streamed with friends in a long time. No matter what, but in my recent times of streaming, I think I have once, maybe. It wasn't for very long. I think it was just a regular. I think maybe I was playing Overwatch. I think it was when I was playing Overwatch. Maybe not. But like, I feel awkward streaming with friends. Like, I don't know. I just don't want to drag my friends into this weird shit I put online, you know? I also learned I've been putting things on the internet for like 7 years or something. Like, I look at it and I'm like, wow, I have been putting things on YouTube almost as long as like professional YouTubers. I've just been like super inconsistent about it. Because I looked, I think my first ever YouTube video was uploaded like June 2017 or something, so it's like almost 7 years. It's also a horrible video. I think I was playing Roblox. No, I was playing Minecraft. Full circle, I guess. Not really a circle, it's more of just a straight line. Most content I ever put online was Minecraft. I haven't you know what? I don't stream Minecraft very often. I always just like I streamed Minecraft for a while, but I kind of got nowhere with the project I was doing, and I guess I was feeling like people were getting sick of seeing me build a segment of a building and then tear it down and then rebuild it and then tear it down and then rebuild it and then tear it down, because I did that like 8 times. Probably over like one stream as well. So I think I stopped, but I'm more confident now. It's been a few years since then. You know, I've built many things, mostly over here. There's one thing over there that we're not going to look at because it's truly horrific. And I've been meaning to tear it down for like 3 months or something, and I've just not gotten around to it. Despite it's just been sitting there. This building, I just hate its existence so much, and I just haven't gotten rid of it. It would take me like 10 minutes. But it's just sitting there, mocking me for existing. Then like, yeah, no, you built this. You gotta forever remember that you built something this terrible. Like, I was trying to reuse the build palette that has a little bit, where it's like the blackstone and nether brick, but oh, this at least like because it's a factory, it's supposed to be boring. Don't I have that? Whereas the other building was supposed to be like a farmhouse of some kind, and it just did not turn out how I wanted it to. It doesn't look like a house anything would ever live in. And that's definitely not ideal when trying to build a house. Ideally, it would be, you know, livable. Like whenever I look at it, it's like, okay, I can see what I was going for. It's just terrible. Bro, get out of my lake. I need to put up no swimming signs, jeez. Oh, and Swift Sneak? Oh man. I've had a Swift Sneak book for so long, and I didn't realize it went on pants. because why would I ever think that? I thought it was a boot enchantment. And so I tried putting on my boots, and I was like, oh, I guess maybe it's because I have soul speed. Nope, I'm just stupid. And you put it on the leggings. And I only figured that out because I was looking around the Hermitcraft Season 9 world download. And I don't know, I'd taken like Grindin's armor or something, and I'd wanted to do do a parkour challenge without it. And I always had it, and I was like, man, I've taken off the boots. What's going on? And so I checked the rest of the armor, and it's like, oh, I could have had Swift Sneak this entire time. My amount of time sneaking in this world is counted in days. And it's like, I could have been so much more efficient if I just wasn't dumb. And that would have made building a lot easier. Like, I sneak so often, but I don't know. Not really one who pays attention to enchantments anymore. I never really did. The only time I really started being like, oh, maybe I should like enchant my gear was, I guess, my personal survival world. I wanted to flex that I had fully enchanted netherite armor, because netherite had just come out, and I didn't really have any other goal. Like, yeah, being the dragon's cool or whatever, but is it having fully enchanted netherite armor? I have so much netherite. Like, full block, and I think I've got like 6 or 7 more ingots chilling about. Just because I usually hand mined blackstone. So it meant that I have these in the main nether. There are just giant tunnels. Well, okay, they're like 2x2 tunnels. There's there's giant networks of tunnels through the netherrack, so I can gather shulker boxes of blackstone, because I just use it so much, because it's just so good. It looks so good. Like that whole roof, like a lot of this building, so much of this building. I just love blackstone. It's such a great block. And I had like never used it before, and I started building this area. Like, I just started building up here because, you know, this was just the average horrible roof in the nether thing that everyone's always got going, and it was like, ugh, I don't know, I can do something up here. I have an idea. Because like one of my first builds on this server was like a little decorated nether portal, and I was like, oh, maybe I could continue that theme, because it's kind of like a deep slate castle, because that's what we had. It was just we had some deep slate, and I used, I think, most of it to make deep slate tile, because great block, amazing. It goes great with blackstone. Like, they're very similar colors, but they're just different enough that there's a little bit there. God, I'm so conflicted about this building. Ow. Bro, I'm literally the only reason you can exist. I placed every block you spawned on. Maybe they're mad because I imprisoned 15 of their brothers to just get me blackstone. That's their one job. Gather blackstone for me. Oh, right. I don't remember. That's pretty cool. I don't know. But yeah, look at all this blackstone. Like, it's just... I just used it for everything. Oh, right. Using blackstone. That's what I was talking about. Like, I think we had, like, maybe a stack from something And so when I was building this floor, because I built the floor first, like a normal person. I built this fully decorated floor, and I was like, oh, you know, I kind of wanted to use these blocks because that's what the portal on the other side of that looks like. And I found the black stone. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll use some. I think I had some from like raiding. Oh, I don't need to go in here. Some from like raiding a bastion or something. Oh, here's my giant pile of mob heads. These pop up everywhere I build in the Nether because things just always spawn. So these pop up. Anyway, get out of the hole, bro. I need to go down there. So I started using it, and then I just never stopped. And here's my netherrack quarry. It extends over there. And then down here is my other netherrack quarry. Wow. I actually might want to grab some of this gold. I've been burning through gold, trading with piglins. And here's the beautiful natural lake that I am slowly but surely destroying. Who needs real terrain when you can just build your own? Filling shulker box after shulker box of lava. Oh, there. Industry. Like, I kind of had like this little personal goal of well, had to happen at some point soon, eh? Let's see. Man, it has been a while. I have not used there. Alright, ban that guy. Streaming. Anyway, I kind of had like this like personal goal of like emptying this area like completely, and it just because, you know, the idea of just draining massive amounts of a lake of lava so I could make a much larger lake of lava. Really great. I'm really glad I made it only 1 block thick though, because woo, 1 block deep, I mean, in the main build, because otherwise, like, I know I could have just placed it on the top because you wouldn't even have noticed, but like when you have like a lake or something that's deeper than 1 block and you're trying to fill it in, it's so easy for it just to look terrible. Because you kind of gotta, you gotta fill the whole surface layer, but if there's a layer underneath it, well, that works with water to just, you know, place enough around the edges that it just fully fills itself in with source blocks. Old lava here just don't work. I don't really understand. I kind of understand why lava isn't renewable, because it's a fuel source, but so many other fuel sources are infinitely renewable. Like even coal, Minecraft is. Like, if coal is, lava should be as well. I mean, it is renewable. So, I mean, if you're using it as a fuel source, it's effectively infinite. Dripstone doesn't create that much lava, but it creates enough that if you're only using a block or a bucket every few minutes, you'll never notice. Like, I mean, yeah, you have to wait like a little bit every now and again if you're doing like a lot of smelting, but there's always other fuel sources. But like, I can't get lava any other way efficiently. I've got you know, stuff to do. I need to make lakes and and mansions in the Nether like a normal person. You know, I just need to build in hell like a normal person. So I need a lot of lava. So fortunately there are giant oceans of lava that I can, you know, that I can just steal all of it from. It takes a while. It's not particularly entertaining for anyone involved. But, you know, that's sometimes things just gotta be done. And this is not one of those things, but I'm doing it anyway. Like a normal person. Because it is completely average to spend hours on end in the Nether. Like, I have we switched this server from Bedrock to Java with the same world, and I think since we've switched, I've spent probably like 85% of my time of that like 5 days of playtime here in the Nether, just constantly. Because, you know, I like the fog ambiance. It's nice. It kind of, like, if you're building the overworld, sometimes you need to build like very specifically to allow people to get a sense of size. No need in the Nether. The Nether does it for you by having just fog. Like, the fog effects work as your gauge of height by, you know, existing at certain levels. Like, at a certain distance, I don't know how long it is. What is that, like 75 blocks or something? Like, you always know how tall a building is generally in the Nether because of the fog. And while that's not really the main reason, it's definitely one of them. Like, actually, one of the problems I'm having is with height, where, like the relatively sane developers they are, Mojang didn't up the Nether build height. Because why would they? The Nether ends at 128 blocks. You can get up there, and you always really have been able to. There are clearly no plans to fix it anytime soon. So they didn't, but they still didn't up the build limit, which I'm not. Well, I'm not happy about it, but you know, I'm not gonna go emailing them, being like, "Oh, you should raise another build limit so like the 5 people who build up there for decoration can build giant towers. Please up the Nether build height." There is no tomfoolery, only natural destruction. And that's not tomfoolery. That's nature foolery. But I'm draining lava lakes to build a lava lake. So I've drained shulkers of lava from this lake. What was I talking about? Oh, right, not upping the build limit. It is disappointing because, like, I have a tower and it's well, you know, I'm streaming this from the future. That's why. How long is 13,000 seconds? Because that might actually be like an active, that might actually be like an accurate count. Or 1,300. Yeah. Maybe it's time zone. It's going down, huh? Well, it's you see, I have this plugin that tells you when you're going to die. You are going to die specifically, and so when that reaches 0, well, you know, it's like a death note, but I have no control over it, so it's less interesting. And also, I can't write super aggressively and eat chips. I'm just not that skilled. Yeah. So so if it says you only have what 1,000, it means you got like 20 minutes left. And also, you know, if you learn the time of death via the death timer, it means that whichever streamer you're watching at the time gets all your stuff. So that's pretty cool. You know, it's just how it is. You know, I'm pretty sure whoever made it just wanted to steal from a viewer. Like they knew they had like it was like one of those viewers who like gifts 100 subs a stream, and he's like, oh, uh, well, you know, these things happen. But you know, there's one of those viewers constantly gifting subs, and they're like, oh man, I'm gonna steal all their money, just like that. So you know, you put the plugin on, and then you choose what viewer it activates for. I just set it to first viewer because you know I'm lazy, couldn't think of any viewers who would be here. So, all right, well I think that's all the buckets. Woo! Yay! There's 8 more shulker boxes of lava. Time to go. Put it all somewhere and then repeat the whole cycle. Again. I've been doing this for like a day. Not like actually, but I did this for a while last night, I think. No, not last night. Wednesday. Night before last. And it's just been all going here into this lake of lava. So that way, this area looks marginally better. Like, I mean, I could have just put a bunch of netherrack down, right? Or like magma blocks. Like a normal thing that people do. But no, it had to be lava source blocks the whole way. Because that just looks better. And if this area doesn't look good, then what the fuck am I even doing with all my time? Why even do any of this? That. But hey, at least my house is coming along, I guess. I'm not like it's I'm bad at building interiors. And I feel like whatever, that's fine. And I feel like I'm not great at building amazing exteriors. Like I think I'm fine at it, but I think they can be like I do that, right? Like I build something like this, and then like I then when I'm building the interior, I make the exterior look better by like building windows and stuff like that. But I don't like building interiors, so the exterior never gets finished because I never need the windows because I never build the inside. Everything just ends up not looking as good as it should. But I built all most of the windows for my house. That's looking marginally better. I'm gonna have to go get some more food soon. I run through it pretty quick. Constantly just taking random damage from ghasts or... Actually, it's worse when I'm building normally, because then it's usually piglins are everywhere. And they're just constantly attacking me. Sometimes hoglins spawn as well. My house has a Serious hoglin infestation problem. Not ideal. I set up a mini piglin trading area because the other one was too manual. Because you had to, because if you remember, you have to put the items you get into the shulker box yourself, and that's lame. So I just made one with a hopper. So we're gonna need to build a gold farm. Was a gold farm ever built? I don't remember a gold farm ever being finished. Oh wait, no, there is one. There is one. Somewhere over there. No, I hope I don't extend it to it. That would be rough. I'm doing some pretty aggressive expansion over here. I don't exactly remember where the gold farm is. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Wow. I am getting very close to it. I will try and remember that. Ah, no, the server's lagging. Oh, it's lagging a lot. Oh, fuck. Oh, there we go. Let's see, what's up here anyway? How much gold is there? None. Oh, many. Many gold. That's good. Oh, yeah, we can auto-craft this shit now, can't we? Man, no Minecraft updates be going. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay, does this storage system... No, this shit fills from the bottom. Just take a couple of those. 2, 3, 6, 7. Okay. Just gonna... No, not quite yet. But it should be pretty soon. They're showing final things for it. So actually, we should finish our trading hall before villager trading gets changed. That will be a huge pain in the ass to work around because it's a shitty update. Like, I get it. Villager trading has been overpowered for like a really long time. But like, come on. It's fine. Just make enchanting better. That would fix everything if enchanting wasn't the worst thing in the game. Because it's like not functional. And enchanting tables suck. Yeah, I really don't... Yeah, I would agree. I don't think... Like, the most recent season of Hermitcraft, some hermits have been not using villagers, and it's taking them ages to get any sort of enchantments. It's like, ugh. They, like... They do this as a job, and it's taking them days. So yeah, we use... Like, we couldn't do any of this if we didn't have our villager setup. It wouldn't be feasible to build giant farms or spend a bunch of time building huge buildings in the Nether without shut up, J-Grasp. But like, yeah, I feel like it's kind of become like the redstone bugs that they never fixed, because when they did, people got kind of mad. But people have been mad about villagers being overpowered for a long time. Because people are like, oh, well, I don't want to have to build like huge villager farms and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't, you're gonna have to build things that are so much more annoying to build. You're gonna have to, you know, build massive XP farms and... Exactly, yeah, like if I died and lost my stuff now, yeah, I'd be annoyed. we don't have all these enchantments, especially like the soul speed and swift sneak. Like the swift sneak, we have soul speed. But like the rest of the stuff, this is all replaceable. For now. So yeah, I don't think I would be building where I am nearly as much if I had to constantly worry about, oh, if I, like, what happens if I die and all my shit's gone and I have no villagers to trade with. Whoops. Fuck me, I guess. Guess I'll go die constantly again and again. Whoops. Or you can just do what I always did in my old survival world and just cheat and be like, nah, I ain't fucking getting all that again, lol, and then just use commands. But that's kind of lame, and there's a reason I don't play on that world anymore. I think people have been kind of complaining about the new update for a while, and I think the update, I think the villager thing is kind of overtaking the conversation on the update itself in a bad way. Because yeah, it's a rough update, especially I was reminded recently that you literally cannot get mending through an enchanting table. Like it's just not possible. So that's pretty awesome. Like you just have to use villagers or fishing, or you just have to find it, and that's crazy RNG. Even with the villagers, it takes a while. And with the new updates, it's gonna take even longer, because, you know, now instead of just being like, oh yeah, I'll just, yeah, they make mending in one of the 2 biomes that doesn't have villagers, which means you have to take villagers to a swamp and then breed them. They're just making so you need to breed more villagers. The whole point of the update was for the people who didn't want to be making villager farms. And all I did was make it so you need to build more villager farms. But honestly, while that's really annoying, I think the auto crafter will make up for it. I think just the amount of other automation we are getting in that update will make up for the extra annoyance of getting enchantments. Because, like, the amount of time you'll save with farms and everything overall, it should be fine. I know you're gonna be a little bitch. You've always been one. Nothing's changed. I've been watching with Hermitcraft. They are using the auto crafter. They got some data packs to allow them to use the tough blocks and the auto crafter. And man, the amount of stuff that they've just immediately been able to automate is just amazing. Like there's, I think, 2 fully automated iron farms. Doc built a fully automated witch farm that builds pistons for him and could build more. He just hasn't gotten around to it, I don't think. I think his shulker box farm is going to be fully automated as well. Like, there's going to be a lot of really amazing automation. You just gotta get through the early game to get there. And I know a lot of people, like, their favorite part of Minecraft is the early game punching trees and mining, specifically for like ores, not massive amounts of stone or whatever to build. But I never really loved. True, you can't stack them, but I mean, you can automate shulker boxes. That's pretty cool. I don't know if he's going to or not. He's just building it in his automated farm area. So the problem with Doc's videos is they're all like an hour and a half long, so it's kind of hard to fully pay attention the whole time. I mostly do, but that's a lot of Doc talking about mostly complicated technical shit, or like abusing allays. Like in his witch farm, his trash can for his water stream was an allay that was constantly on fire, that was throwing things at a jukebox or note block so they'd burn. But he just left the allay in the fire. So, you know, that was kind of distracting. Thinking about the poor allay slowly burning to death. I did grab 9, right? Did I miss some? Oh, that's weird. 9. Oh, there's one. But in any case, like, I watched, like, Tango Tech built a fully automated bee farm. Like, well, as fully automated as it could be. So, like, the bottles immediately get turned into honey blocks and then sent back through the system. Like, all he has to do is every now and again, like, every 10 hours or maybe even way more, go in and put in some extra shears. And even that he could automate because there's an iron farm right next door. Well, okay, it would take a little bit of extra automation to not overflow the system or whatever, but... Or you could just be like Good Times with Scar and use it solely as decoration. Because it is a good looking block as well. Yeah, it's all very cool. Right. Yep. So, I mean, yeah, the next update's definitely going to be divisive. I mean, it already is. People people always complain when a Minecraft update comes out. They always have, and they probably always will. But it's, I think, extra bad this time, because there's been a few bad updates in a row. Well, bad. I think they've all been pretty good. So people are a little more on edge. But hey, we'll never have to do this again. We'll never just have to sit here and click a bunch anymore. Now it'll all be done for us. God, won't that be a thing? To not have to make like automated scripts to craft massive amounts of things, or just hold shift a lot. Just be able to just not even have to deal with like... Yeah, I think gold farms are probably the worst with it. Because, you know, when you have double chests of shulker boxes, I mean, what are you going to do? So now, you can just funnel it all into gold blocks and, like, have, like, a double chest, maybe 2, and you're good. I mean, you'll have to build... I think the hardest part would be building a robust enough system that it won't immediately burn itself out. Like one that won't just fill up immediately and back up and destroy a bunch of items. But that wouldn't be terrible. Crafters can craft pretty quick. And just having like, you can just have like 5 of them or something. Especially if it's like gold nuggets where you can do nothing else with them. That's the nice part. I think making it into blocks will be slightly annoying because you can like make stuff out of gold, so you'll have to make sure that it doesn't get turned into pressure plates. But other than that, it'll be pretty easy. Yay, gold. Now I can go throw a bunch of gold at my piglins and get mostly potions, except for when I need them. I went and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go trade with these piglins and get a bunch of potions, and then I just got none. I got 0 potions. I decided, I was like beforehand I was like, oh god, this system's filling up with potions all the time. What am I gonna do? And then I just like never got a potion afterwards. And it's like, oh great, yeah, just cool. That's true. Yeah, implementing it now wouldn't be easy. I mean, you could tear out all of this and then just have a shulker box unloader. No, I didn't. I built my own piglin bartering farm. Because like I said, yours was a little too manual, and it used up a lot of shulker boxes. So I just put some piglins in a hole in my house. So see, I've got some piglins in a little box, and it just goes right down into here. So I raided whatever gold we had that I could find. So now I can just, like, you know, do that and then go over here. There's like 15 in here. I definitely didn't die making this and then just use a bunch of spawn eggs. That'd be crazy. I definitely didn't die and then have to kill them all because they had all my shit. That would be insane. Why would that ever happen? Because the server is on such a poor machine, it means that the mob AI is really stupid. Like, aggressively stupid. Like, I would be trying to get piglins in, like, to right here where there's this trapdoor, and they would like start following me like here, and then I'd do this, like I'd go in here, and then they just forget I ever existed. Just instantly. It's like, oh. So it took me like 10 minutes to get like 5 piglins in here, and then I died because I fell in, and I didn't want to kill them all, and I don't carry ender pearls because I'm not a nerd, and also I don't think there are any around here. Oh, there's some. Well, oh, and 4 netherite. Okay. Oh, look at this. We have boots for days. So many boots. Good amount of obsidian as well. Ah, damn it. Avoid that. Iron nuggets. See, who needs an iron farm when you have a piglin bartering system? Hey, look at all these nuggets. But also, so much blackstone. That was the main reason, as I was like, ugh, I might need more blackstone soon. I didn't really want to gather anymore, so look at that. That's so much blackstone. Damn. Okay. See it. And also soul speed, free soul speed. Bunch of quartz. 2 rotten flesh. How did that get in here? Oh, maybe there was a zombie piglin system at one point. Like, these farms are great. Like, most of the stuff they give you isn't, like, particularly helpful. Like, leather isn't amazing. Ender pearls is pretty cool. Soul sand isn't particularly helpful. I don't think that's supposed to be in there. Boots. I don't need many pairs of iron boots. But like nether brick, blackstone, these are all great like blocks. Especially the nether brick. Nether brick is such a pain in the ass. Blackstone isn't great either. To get, at least. But nether brick, oh god. Just the amount of smelting you have to do, and it's free obsidian. I think that's another core one. Like, obsidian, nether brick, blackstone, gravel. These are all quartz. These things are all such a pain in the ass to get. And here they are, all automated. But you know what still isn't? Sand. They've just never automated sand, because I don't even know why. I don't even have a concept of why they haven't. Like, maybe they can't think of any reason. Like, make husks drop it. Give them some use, other than giving the player hunger every now and again. Alright, back to the grind. That was a long distraction, but that's fine. Distractions are the core content of Minecraft. Like, what is Minecraft without endless, just endless amounts of random distractions where you're like, oh, I'm gonna build this cool thing. Oh, actually, before I do that, I should have a farm for this. Actually, and that's Minecraft. That's all of what Minecraft is. At least that's how Minecraft's always been for me. Like, this whole area was essentially just the greatest distraction. Ugh. I don't even think I had any, like... I did not have plans. But, like... most of them were pretty tame. I was like, oh, maybe I should build a house, or I don't know, maybe a farm we'd need, or something normal. And then I just decided to build a nether hub, because we didn't have one, and we were starting to expand. I mean, that, wherever that is like a few thousand blocks away, or somewhere around there. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll build a nether hub to it, and then we have a portal going to our end, or a portal as well. Just, you know, normal places that are far enough away in the overworld that's like, yeah, I don't really want to walk that, so I'm not going to. So I built this. So like I built a factory there, a cathedral over the main one, something over the end portal that I didn't build. It's completely unfinished, but they'll never miss it, I suppose. And then I just kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what? I like building here. I'm just going to keep building here in hell. Because every now and again, you know, you just have an idea, and all the ideas I've had, like, they don't just work on their own. Like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of it was from watching Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones made me want to build so many things. Like, I watch Game of Thrones and I'm like, oh, I want to build something like the Red Keep. Oh, I want to build something like the Twins. Oh, I want to build something like the Wall. Oh. And the overworld just doesn't have the infrastructure, at least our world doesn't really have the infrastructure for it. Like, anywhere I put it, everything else would look completely minuscule. Like, I would need a humongous river to build the twins on. We don't have any rivers like that. All of our builds are small, right? They're quaint. But here in the Nether, my builds are pretty... I feel like they were monumental enough, and I could connect it, right? Because I needed a river, and I was like, where would I put a river? And so, I have this giant lake, so I'm putting a river on it. Right here. And so I'm thinking the twin, like, so the river's widening this whole way, right? So you can see, like, it's pretty wide here, and then it kind of gets thinner. And so it'll be like a mini waterfall here, or lava fall. And so, like, widen, and then it'll be kind of like a really wide area. And then over that will be the twins. And let's see, what is, I'm trying to remember the house sigil of, who was that, the phrase? I don't remember their house sigil at all. Jeez. And I have a name for this cave as well, I just haven't put it anywhere. This is Casterly Cave, where all the lava's made. Because I built it... I felt like I was actively watching that scene at Casterly Rock when I was building it. I know I was watching Game of Thrones when I built it. So that's what it's gonna be named eventually, once I get a sign. I just haven't gotten around to it, because it's really a low priority thing to name the random cave I keep my dripstone in. Surprisingly. It's yeah, not exactly my greatest worry that people know what it's called. Mostly because the last time anyone other than me was on here was like 2 months ago. So there's that. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break. It's been about an hour and a quarter, so I'll be right back. Alright. Back in the game. And back to placing lava buckets. Woo! Love placing lava buckets. It's extremely exciting for everyone involved. Especially me, because I get to just think about the flowing system in Minecraft and how liquid flowing like half makes sense and half doesn't make any sense at all. Pretty cool. Like it kind of makes sense, but then sometimes, right, you get a block that's like slightly that's like it looks like it's fully done, like that one right there. See, like it looks like it's fine, but it's not. That's not a full block, but it looks like one, but it's not. Now it's a full block. Like why are you tricking us? I mean, I can't imagine how dumb that system was to make anyway, but like fluid physics is probably not fun to make. But you can make it less confusing. You know, one thing I've been thinking about with Minecraft recently is some people have complained that Minecraft is like almost impossible to progress in unless you already know how to progress in Minecraft. Like, the game doesn't tell you how to find... I mean, the only way to tell... That's the button, isn't it? There it is. The only way to tell is through this. These achievements are the only way to tell how to advance in the game, right? Like, okay, you start here, 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 you get all this stuff, you get Ice Bucket Challenge, and then you see, okay, build light and enter another portal. You got any more information for me? And then here, follow Ender Eye. Like, huh? What does that mean? Like, Minecraft is so cryptic all the time. And I know that's just like kind of... I've brought a beacon of full power. I've got like 2 full power beacons. Anyway. And I've killed the Wither, but I think on a different version. Oh, actually, I don't know if I have obtained a Wither Skeleton skill. Yeah, I don't know. It's I know that like Minecraft has sold like 250 million copies or whatever. So there's a very low chance that the player doesn't know what they're doing. But there's still a chance. Like, it's easily one of, if not the most popular game on like YouTube and similar platforms. But you know, what if you're like, you know, you're some, you know, 40-year-old dad whose kid was like, hey, I want to play Minecraft, and you should play with me. And it's like, all right, I guess. And then you go to play Minecraft with your kid, and like, okay, build a nether portal. And you're like, I don't even know what a craft is. What? Like the okay, that's a little hyperbole, because the opening tutorials like when you first start a world, are pretty good, all things considered. But you know, Minecraft just expects that you know how to beat Minecraft, and that's kind of unfair to the people who don't know. And as someone who's known how to beat Minecraft for a majority of my lifetime, probably, I I do find it like fascinating to find someone who doesn't know how to beat Minecraft, especially if they're of my age group, because like we grew up with Minecraft, like, you know, I was one of those kids watching Dan TDM back in like 2014 somehow, and then stopped watching pretty soon after. Well, not very soon. It was like 2 years afterwards. Although sometimes, man, I think about his modded series, Diamond Dimensions, and I'm like, man, I want to play some of those mods, because those, I've got like some crazy nostalgia for mods I never played. Like Twilight Forest, oh my god, you don't even know. I think about Twilight Forest and I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, it's a mod I have never played. I've played quite a few mod packs, but they've never had Twilight Forest in them. But I still remember, like, part of the boss order of Twilight Forest. Well, I know the first boss is really the Naga, but, like, I shouldn't even remember that. Why do I remember that? I never played it. I watched, like, 3 people play at one time. And also, it was always... the NTDM series was always weird, because it was, like, partially scripted, and the scripted parts weren't very good. Like, you could always tell they were scripted because they were weird. And so, like, when I first started making YouTube content, back when I actually did, so when I was, like, 13, like, some of it was, like, roleplay stuff. I don't know why. I think I just used to watch a lot of that. I did. That's not even a I think I did. I just did. That was a big part of what I watched back on YouTube early days. Minecraft roleplay. I don't remember what the guy's name was. It was Mango something. Big roleplay guy back in the day. Not entertain. Well, I suppose it was entertaining. I used to watch it. Not very good, and kind of creepy looking back at it. Like kind of really weird, and like, I feel like if I saw any modern YouTuber doing it, I would be concerned. Like, it'd be like, oh boy, is the Minecraft YouTuber thing happening again? That sucks. Fuck. But I've moved on to more mature Minecraft YouTubers, like Stampy. I'm kidding. I've never watched a Stampy video in my life, which is surprising, given that I would have been like the target audience for Stampy when he was really big. I guess never really got recommended his videos. I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I've seen some like stuff about what he's been doing nowadays, and Jesus. Like, I guess I have to respect the guy for being like the first one to be like, what if I created an AI YouTuber? Like, you gotta respect it, but also, like, what? Like, for a long time, Stampy was one of the most respected content creators I could think of. And it is not easy to get that title. But he has far since lost all that. What was I fucking... how did I get on this point? Oh, right, roleplay. Right, the stuff I used to do. Jeez. So I created this like terrible roleplay series with my friend, where like we went to a village and I built like a wall around a section of it out of like cobblestone, and the idea was supposed to be that like the villagers were like, hey, you know, there's like a good amount of the village was outside of the wall, and so the idea was going to be that throughout this roleplay series we were going to like expand the wall and get back the old, like whatever was left of the village, and help the villagers. But I also didn't understand roleplay etiquette, I guess, when it came to making content. So like I'd start the videos with like a regular, just like me talking out of character. It wasn't much of a character. It was mostly just me and my friend, but pretending like we didn't know what was going on, which I suppose is most of Minecraft roleplay in it. Why did I say that? I'm not British. Why did I just say in it? Anyway, it was really bad. I think we made like 3 episodes or something. I'm surprised we even got that far before we were like, man, this sucks. Why are we making this? But I don't think we had the self-awareness to realize what we made sucked. But like every YouTuber ever went through that period, right? Like so many modern YouTubers have this past of being that 12-year-old just making horrible content. And uploading it and kind of trying to like figure out what works and what doesn't. Netherite go. I must put it in the chest. That's weird. And the problem is I kind of stopped making YouTube content, because I was always too like anxious to record. Like I always felt awkward recording when there were other people nearby because I didn't have a room to record in. Like I had like a bedroom, I just wasn't really allowed to have technology in there, so I kind of just recorded in like the living room, and that was just fucking super awkward. So I kind of just stopped. And also, I never edited videos because I didn't know how. I thought I was a fucking genius when I realized you could stop a recording and then start it later. Like, that's kind of like the level I was at, right? Like, I knew editing was like a part of making videos, but I also knew that most YouTubers had video editors. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I'll have to. Like, I can probably just get someone else to do it. But I didn't know anyone else who knew video editing. And the one person I did know who knew video editing never did? Like, he always said he would. They never did. Maybe he did once or twice. Not consistently enough for it to matter. Maybe it was because I never actually sent him videos. I was not intelligent when it came to that kind of stuff because, you know, surprisingly, until like after I had done all that, there isn't really like a class for it, and like until, so I think like I said, 2017 when I made my first video. Being a YouTuber wasn't like a huge thing until like it was easiest in 2015, 2016, no, 2014, 2015, because the algorithm really liked Let's Plays then, and the apocalypse hadn't quite happened yet. That would happen, I think, the next year in 2016. So it was like really easy to make a good amount of money on YouTube, as long as you were half competent, which I was not. Very important that I was not competent. Can't even speak properly, apparently. You'd think I wouldn't go into the field where speaking was the most important thing. I didn't know how to speak, but, well... oh, well. Who said you need to be funny or entertaining or subversive or creative to stream or make content? I've watched a Dream video. I got him. Actually, his content was pretty revolutionary when he made it, so... I mean, at that point, no Minecraft YouTuber had thought of, had thought of, I think, still allegedly grooming kids. I don't know if that's ever actually been confirmed. I'm gonna say allegedly, just in case. Very innovative content. What a guy. And then, man, can we talk about Dream's face reveal? Okay, I know that happened, like, years ago. Somehow. But, like, seriously, why did he do that? Like, some of my favorite YouTubers are, like, the ones that have, like, never really shown their face. Because sometimes YouTube comes down to looks. Like, actually, though. Like, I remember watching popular MMOs and being like when I was like 12, being like, oh, Pat's not, like, he's kind of ugly, not gonna lie. I still watched a lot of their videos, but, you know, and that, like that thought actually, like, for a little bit slightly affected how I thought of popular MMOs. And it's like, man, that's where, like, Exumavoid and Etho have it right. Just just never show your face. And that never becomes a problem. It's just that easy. And also, like, having watched a few interviews with Mr. Beast, he mentions that at some point you hit a size where it's like imagine being like Markiplier, right? You know, he, like, can't leave his house without someone recognizing him. And that sounds horrible. The requirement to, like, every time you leave your house to be like, all right, you know, I may run into fans, I guess I gotta be ready for that. That kind of, like, it sounds kind of cool in concept for a little bit, until you're like, man, I just want to go to Taco Bell. Although, actually, if I ever say that, I'm lying. I don't think I've ever said that before. But, like, you know, you're like, man, I'm just trying to, like, go to Walmart and get some groceries. Like, yeah, nice meeting you, but, like, I'm trying to, like, get a burrito. And so at some point, I think probably most content creators are like, man, I never should have shown my face. I should have just stayed an anonymous character. And I think Dream realized that for a few reasons. Mostly because the minute he did his face reveal, a bunch of allegations appeared out of thin air. Well, I mean, obviously they were, like, you know, texts or whatever, but, like, I think it was the day he did his face reveal, the first allegations anyone paid attention to appeared. It's like, oof, that's crazy. Maybe you should have just never done that. Oh. I bet he thinks that every day. And the amount of like, I have as someone who is somewhat a part of the FNAF community, as you can see, my skin is literally a. When I made my Minecraft account, I looked up FNAF security guard, and this is the skin I got, and I've just never changed it. Okay, I changed it once to a, to a shitty YouTuber skin because I was 12 and I'd uploaded to YouTube once. Okay, it was actually like probably 5 times at that point. Sorry, it was more than that. So I was like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. I should have a YouTuber skin. Ooh, and it was like, it's a YouTuber skin I've seen like 8 times since as well. Like, I don't play on public servers very often, but when I do, I'll usually see at least one of those skins. So, you know, that would have been interesting. I'm assuming they were just stealing my amazing Minecraft skin that I definitely stole from someone else. But anyway, in the FNAF community, it's fascinating because, like, if you thought Minecraft had a lot of drama, you've never been in the FNAF community for longer than a few minutes. Because seriously, like, it feels like every fucking week someone's done something, something's gone wrong, whatever, someone had an L take, sometimes not even like one that's actually like impacts anyone. It's like someone said they liked Sister Location or something. It's just it's a garbage fire. It's like, man, I just want to play a funny pizza game, you know? I just want to play the robot game with all the robots. Why is it like one time? I don't remember what happened. Something happened, and it got so bad. Scott Cawthon himself commented on it on Reddit, and that's like super rare. He rarely. Well, okay, it's not actually that rare that he talks to the community, but he usually doesn't address things. He usually just kind of. Oh, right, it was about the canonicity of the books. People have been arguing about it for literally years, and it got super toxic, just like out of nowhere. And like, it got bad enough, Scott himself was like commented on it. His comment was a joke, right? It was like, you know, about the canonicity of the books, whatever you've all been talking about. Yep. So it's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then people got mad because of that response. Because they're like, well, we want an actual answer. And it's like, guys, Scott Cawthon's hasn't given a straight answer for like 4 years, if not way longer. I think he's going to give one to you now. It's been almost a decade. FNAF will be a decade old in August. You think he'll give you? It's been that long. You think now he's going to be like, you know what? Maybe I should give a straight answer about something. If it hasn't happened yet, it probably never will. But people just don't see that. Well, some people do. But like, there was this whole thing about FNAF Plus, which is a shame because it got the fucking game canceled. And that one, I'm only looking forward. Okay, I'm looking forward to all of the Fanverse games. I was never like a huge Joy of Creation fan, but I'll probably still play it when it comes out. But like, the main two I was looking forward to were Pop Goes Evergreen and FNAF Plus. And then, you know, Fiznom, the developer, makes fun of Security Breach Ruin on stream because he's like, oh, the puzzles are kind of boring. Because they actually were. The puzzles were not great. But Ruin was good. But the puzzles were not exactly mind benders. You know, they were pretty I mean, they were line puzzles. and it was essentially the same puzzle every time. Or like it was a camera puzzles, which I hesitate to even call a puzzle because it was literally go in the order of the cameras and click the button, right? Like, not exactly breaking new ground with the puzzles. And I think another streamer or YouTuber or someone on Twitter, I think, was like, oh, we should call FNAF Plus boring when it comes out. And so a bunch of FNAF Plus stands got up in arms and did terrible things, like sent the person slurs and whatnot. Normal Twitter stuff. And it's just... And it ended with the game getting cancelled and Fiznom losing his contract. And it's just... It's like, this was like the FNAF fan game people have been waiting for like 3 years, and it was probably like really close to being finished. And now we'll never see it. But hey, we got a Bite at Freddy's. Not really connected to this story at all. I just really like to Bite at Freddy's. Really cool game. Not very good at it. But man, I think it's like one of my favorite FNAF fan games of all time. Because it's like... It's creative, it's innovative, and that's something FNAF fan games have been lacking for a long time. Just by their very nature. FNAF fan games often lack a real sense of self, because their sense of self is so intrinsically tied to FNAF itself. Anyway. Man, I have not talked this long in a while. A Bite at Freddy's really felt like its own thing. Like, it still used, like, oh, you know, it's Five Nights at Freddy's, like, branding and basic structure of Sit and Survive. But your resource management was way different. The animatronics were all super uniquely designed, which I really appreciated. I always appreciate a good, unique animatronic, and they felt realistic. They looked pretty realistic, but, like, none of the animatronics were, like, particularly creepy, like, in their basic designs, but all of the animatronics were, like, missing their legs. So you just watched as, like, they dragged themselves across the floor, because they're show animatronics. They don't need a lower half. They're always, the lower half is always blocked by a show stage or a desk or a TV or whatever. So why even have them? Right? That's how an actual business would build them. What was they would build them to be exactly as much as needed and no more, because animatronics are expensive as fuck. So you don't just unnecessarily add body parts to animatronics. They're cool designs. The fact that, like, you had to use the office was nice, and you had to use the cameras as well. That's something that FNAF has always had a problem with, was evening out gameplay between the office and the cameras, because it's either all office or all cameras, right? You either have a FNAF 2, which is all office with like a little bit of camera, or you have a FNAF 3, which is all camera with like a little bit of office. I mean, some of them are fine. FNAF 1 is pretty even, kind of. Could be better, but there are entries that are a lot worse about it. But a Bite at Freddy's, you had to use most of the cameras. It wasn't just like, oh, you just have to look at Foxy and that's the only camera you have to use. It's like, no, you have to use essentially every camera, or at least you should, because you know if an animatronic can easily catch you off guard, and there are few to no sound effects to tell you when an animatronic is somewhere you need to pay attention to, so you just have to know. You just have to be able to see them and follow where they're going. Great game. Really recommend it. The base nights are pretty good, but there is a lot of like extra content. Like there's a custom night with 2 variations of 520 mode. There's the normal version, which is like a preset. You just click on it and it sets them all to 20. And then there's the other version where you manually set them all to 20, and it's apparently like many times harder. But if you're like, oh man, I haven't played a FNAF fan game in a long time, I really want a good one, there you go, Fight at Freddy's. Or just be like me and play FNAF World, which is not a fan game, but might as well be one. Also the best FNAF entry. No competition. I would say in gameplay quality, it's followed up by FNAF 2. But FNAF World has it as best gameplay. Because no other FNAF game has held my attention for quite so long. It's like comparing like I think of it. Comparison to that. It's like comparing I can't think of anything, like, I don't know. I'll get there. It's like comparing like Dredge or something to The Witcher. I think Dredge is a bad example, actually. That's why I didn't use it originally. That's just the only... Return of the Obra Dinn. There's one. To be like, oh, well, you know... Yeah, Obra Dinn's like a 3-hour-long game. And, you know, it didn't hold my attention as much as Witcher 3, you know? Like, oh, really? Wow, that's insane. It's almost like The Witcher 3 is like a 1,000-hour-long game. Well, it's not that long, but you know what I mean. It's almost like average completion rate for it and all its DLCs is like 150 hours, and Return of the Obra Dinn can be blasted through in like 3 hours. Wow. It's insane. I really liked Return of the Obra Dinn. Good game. Good music, good art style. It did give me a headache originally, though. But second time around I was fine. But yeah, first time, I actually refunded it the first time. I didn't have much money then. So it's like, ugh, this is a cool game, but like, getting splitting headaches from it. It's also like, it's one of the games I'm like, oh man, it'd be nice if Unity didn't completely tank their entire reputation, and so I could, like, without feeling bad, use Unity as a game engine. Because the graphics used in Obra Dinn and similar is just like a plugin. Like, you can just put it in any game. And it just looks so good. That, like, Game Boy-esque graphics. Really good. Then again, I would be over the moon if I could even imagine making a game half as good as Return of the Obra Dinn. Because it's just such a good murder mystery game. Like, it's so simple, but it's like exactly what I'd want. Right? It's that, like, okay, I need to using the random freaking random fucking clues everywhere, like random names said or knowledge of positions on a boat and things like that to kind of mix everything together. Like for some characters, their death happens like off screen. Like one dude gets like grabbed by a kraken, and so you have to be like, you just have to assume like, okay, I mean they're dead, but like I need to kind of figure out like when they died, and if it was the kraken that got them, or if they got like hit by a loose cannon or whatever, got knocked off the boat, like what all happened. There's an achievement in Oberdin I've been meaning to go for a while, where you just say that the captain did it for everyone. And that's pretty funny. But like the problem is I don't like replaying games very much. I tried to with like Alan Wake 2 because I wanted to play Final Draft. I just didn't want to do all that again, you know? And the same with Oberdin. It's like it's not very long. It's a mystery game, right? Like, I think if there was like an achievement in like the Outer Wilds where I had to go back through and redo every single puzzle in the game, I probably wouldn't enjoy doing it. Cause I've done most of the puzzles. I'm not gonna say I did all of them because I don't know. I think I would say I did a vast majority, but probably not all of them. But I know that I wouldn't enjoy redoing all of them. And it's kind of the same thing with Oberdin, where it's like, yeah, these sections are cool and they're super well made, and Lucas Pope is just such an amazing game designer. But like Papers, Please has like infinite replayability because it's Papers, Please. That's like part of its whole thing, is it's scripted to a point, but like you could play it and completely ignore the story and really not lose anything. But Oberdin, it is the story. There's nothing else. And I think that's one of the reasons I didn't replay Alan Wake 2. That and the myriad of issues and terrible loading times. But it's like the reason I played Alan Wake 2 wasn't innovative gameplay. It was a story, because I mean, I don't think I've shown this yet, but this area is called Night Springs. Like, this whole area is inspired by Alan Wake, because the original game, Alan Wake 1, just, man, I started playing it and it just got my brain moving. Like, this whole area, the lake, like everything, essentially everything past that arch, except for the factory over there, has been created because of Alan Wake. Like this, like these buildings, the dock, the island, the mansion on the hill that I'm gonna live in, it's still another. All of it is based on Alan Wake. Like, something about it, just the way it was written, the way it was all shown, it was just so inspiring. And Alan Wake 2, I would say it had less of an effect. It was still very good, and I still liked the story. I think the FBC could have been done a lot better, but I still had a great time playing it, except for the loading times. That was fucking annoying as shit. Like, seriously, oh my god. I can't even fucking express how annoying the loading times were. They were like 2 minutes minimum. But yeah, it wasn't just I just didn't get the same feeling out of it. Like uh, when I was playing it, I felt no desire to create something similar. But playing Alan Wake 1, every time I saw a new area, I was just like, oh my god, I want to build this in Minecraft so bad. Like that opening cutscene, well, playable cutscene where you take the ferry into Bright Falls. Oh my god. I was sitting there and like Alice was like, "Oh, Alan, are you inspired yet?" And I'm like, "I am. I don't know if he is, but fuck, I'm inspired. I want to build this so bad, like just like a mountain town with a cool lake. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome." So I named it after Alan Wake, the area, and my mansion has a version of the writing room in it. It's just like it's an area I could think of nothing else to do with. It's kind of like off to the side. I needed something for the interior, so I was like, whatever, I'll just make this a writing room. So yeah, all of this long, seemingly never-ending grind, all of it's because of Alan Wake 1. Because it was a really good game that just really got me inspired. And yeah, I really enjoyed Alan Wake 2. I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure for me it was worth the price tag. Like, that was not a cheap game, but my god, it loaded like my computer is 70 years old. And that was, like, the game looked great. I would say it sounded great, but I could only hear it about 45% of the time. Because otherwise the audio just didn't exist for the rest of it, so that was pretty cool too. Oops, didn't mean that. So yeah, I had a couple of technical issues with it that made the gameplay experience less entertaining. But beyond that, I mean, it had plenty of of similar moments to Alan Wake 1 that were really cool gameplay wise. Plenty of really awesome moments. I love that you got a lot more about the old gods of Asgard. Because, I mean, they're just, like, no matter what you think of their characters, they're good musicians. The Poets of the Fall did a spectacular job creating the music of the old gods of Asgard. Just fantastic. Like, you know, video game music, it's like, yeah, you know, sometimes you got like your Sonic the Hedgehogs with like Crush 40, and then sometimes you got other Sonic the Hedgehog games that don't have them. And it's like, yeah, I mean, there's like video game bands like Crush 40 and similar. But then there's the Old Gods, which is like this weird mix of like, yeah, it's a band that makes music for video games, but also is like just a normal band who does normal music and also makes good normal music, and you know, just cool. There's like a source block like right there. There it is. This one, these blocks are holding up the whole thing. There we go. So now I can access some of these sources. I recently read Jurassic Park, the book. Very, very good book. Way different from the movie. Like, same general themes. But if you really liked most of the characters in that movie, don't read the book, because they're not really different. Most of the characters are pretty similar, but the dinosaurs are a lot more violent in the book. Like, they were pretty violent in the movie, but like, whew, there's a way more just dinosaurs murdering people in the book. See, there's gotta be source blocks like right there. Okay, there's two there. But pretty good. The way the characters come to realize certain things, I think, is a lot more dramatic in the book. Like, the way they realize that the dinosaurs have been breeding is a lot more dramatic. Because it isn't just like it's still kind of just like, oh, Dr. Grant found an eggshell. But it's also like the staff have this way of checking how many dinosaurs are on the island, and because of a shortcut taken by the programmer Dennis Nedry, who's the fat guy in the movie. He's a fat guy in the book as well. It's not really a shortcut. It makes perfect sense for the system they're trying to build. Like, you put in an expected number of dinosaurs. So for them, it was like 264 or something. And so once the computer got to that number, it would stop checking. It would stop counting dinosaurs, because it knew, oh yeah, there's enough dinosaurs. The computer had no way of knowing that one of the things they were looking for was that they would have too many dinosaurs. So it was never checking. So the people in the control room are like, no, we have enough dinosaurs. Like there's 200 and some. That's the amount we should have. That's the amount we have. I don't know what you're talking about. And then Ian Malcolm is like, okay, but like, just try looking for a higher number of dinosaurs. And it finds a higher number of dinosaurs. So, fantastic. Great moment where... great moment that I think was done very well in the movie. The whole thing was done really well. But like most movie adaptations, like most adaptations of books, there are some moments that just can't really be recreated. I think anything written with like real, what's the term? With a lot of like build up and suspense can't really be done in the movie format, because it's, movies have a time limit. You can't have a 12-hour long movie that's mostly people wandering around not like learning anything and just never realizing, oh, there's a bunch of extra dinosaurs. Whoops. So instead, it's got to be like almost instant. They also changed a bunch of characters in the movie. I don't know why. I always found it weird that Dr. Grant didn't like kids. And then in the book, he specifically mentions that, like, as a paleontologist, one of his favorite things is to, like, go to museums and, like, watch kids, like, just gawk at dinosaur skeletons. Because he's like, kind of helps give perspective to this thing that he's been around for so long. seeing, you know, like a kid being like, "Oh my God, that's a T-Rex. That's so cool," or like, "Oh, look at this Velociraptor." And then in the movie, he's like, "Damn, kids suck, boo." And it's like, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like paleontologists specifically would probably buy the fact that their job is about dinosaurs. And I mean, anyone who's ever been to the dinosaur section of a museum knows that 8-year-olds love nothing more than dinosaurs. Well, actually, that might not be true anymore. You know, now they like watching shitpost SFM films, which I like doing as well, but I like my shitposts to be of a higher class than Skibbity Toilet. Not much higher class, but just a little bit. Um, Jurassic Park movie, right? They actually like remove a few characters because in the book there's the lawyer and then there's also like the PR manager. And in the movie they just remove the PR manager and just kind of replace him with the lawyer. And then they kind of flip most of the lawyer's scenes to be Dr. Sattler's. That way she's more involved instead of just mostly not being around for a vast majority of the book. Or in this case, movie. So, you know, most of their character changes were completely fair. And, you know, sometimes I'm just talking about something, and then I feel like I'm making no fucking sense. And no one other than me knows what I'm talking about. Or gives a shit. Well, actually, I know no one else gives a shit. Ow. But anyway, after I read Jurassic Park, I started rereading Ready Player One. Because, you know, I've been a little more active in, like, online book sphere, like groups of people who, like, you know, like the culture, like the subculture of people who read but also use the internet. Not really a subculture, you know what I mean. And a lot of them hate Ready Player One a lot. And so I was like, you know, I've been meaning to reread Ready Player 2 so I can make sure that my just like overwhelming hate for the book isn't misplaced. And so I was like, you know, I'm gonna reread Ready Player One, and you know, really see if any of these massive amounts of criticism really hold any water. And I'm like 100 pages in, and I'm like, no, I think these people are just fucking insane. Like, they're missing the point somewhere along the line. Like, a big complaint I've heard is like, or read, people being like, oh well, the world isn't very interesting. Like, it's mostly just 80s references. Like, when you get rid of the 80s references, there's like there's nothing unique about it. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of, it's pretty Snow Crashy, you know, by its very nature, but it's also so different from Snow Crash in many ways. But it does invoke kind of the same feelings of like, oh, you know, a world where everything's terrible, but there's this VR game that everyone likes. Sure, yeah. Pretty Snow Crash. Cool. People are like, oh, James Holiday is a horrible sociopath. And it's like, yeah, no one in the book was refuting that, really. like a lot of the main characters really like James Holiday, but he also is in some way giving them literally hundreds of billions of dollars. So how would you not? So I think, for the most part, the criticism I've read, my initial reaction to it of, I think these people are missing the point, seems to be about accurate. But man, every now and again, I'll just come up across something that is just people talking a lot of shit about Ready Player One. And it's like, that's fine. Like, oh man, but I saw this one post. Oh my god. This post, like, it was like the exact post to make me mad. It's like, you know, like, it was something. I think the thing was asking. It's like, oh, what popular books don't you like very much? And so this person was like, well, I didn't really like The Martian. And I'm like, oh, that's like one of my favorite books of all time. And they're like, I didn't. No, I think they said they didn't like either The Martian or World War Z. They didn't like Ready Player One, and they didn't like Project Hail Mary. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, you've just described like you've just said like 3 of my top 10 books of all time. Like, what the fuck? Like, I get people have different books they like, different genres, different authors. But like the books they were saying, like, I know the post was, what popular books don't you like? And most of the answer was like, oh, Twilight or whatever, which was about what you should expect. But it's kind of one of those things that, like, if you're saying you don't like a super popular book or movie or TV show, if you don't like something that's really popular, whatever, no one really cares. But if I'm someone who really likes that thing, I would love a reason, right? Not just like, oh, like I want that reason so that I can, look at it and kind of think about it and see if the criticism to me feels like it's valid or not. And sometimes it is, right? Like, one, I don't fully understand. Some people say that Project Hail Mary was written kind of like it's kind of childish in how it's written. And it's like, okay, well, there's 2 reasons for that, if I'm understanding them correctly, like what the people are saying. The main character is a middle school science teacher, is one, and the author is trying to explain really complicated literal rocket science. So I don't think you should want it to be hyper complicated. Like, if I'm reading like Seven Eves or something, I'm not like, oh man, I'm like, oh, this explanation of how the International Space Station works is too simple. It's like, oh, this is like literally rocket science. I don't really want them to be using like technical jargon when explaining how they're gonna, slingshot off the gravitational force of Jupiter or whatever. Because I don't know, fucking, why would I want an astrophysics lesson when I'm trying to read sci-fi? It's called science fiction, not science fact. Although the like deep explanations of science are pretty cool in Seven Eves, so. But anyway, Ready Player One, really good. I like it a lot. I, The Oasis is one of those things that's like, yeah, I'd fucking, I'd fuck around with the Oasis a lot, but I also know that that's like the problem. Like, it has kind of the same thesis as Snow Crash, which is, well, the thesis of Snow Crash is that you're gonna learn the entire history of ancient Sumer, but the general idea of we could create a fully artificial world that's in almost every way better than ours, but in doing so, we would make our own world just that much worse. Fuck. What the fuck hit me? Something like shot me in the back. It was probably one of those fucking piglins. See what? Oh, rip a bucket of lava, I guess. Now I gotta replace one here. But yeah, like the core point is these huge VR worlds that are super realistic and better than reality are better than reality. And it means that everyone would not want to live in reality anymore. And that's, that's the world that matters. It also kind of makes it scary, the fact that like half the people who are developing the modern version of like metaverses, like the founders of Decentraland, when talking about the project, say that some of their inspirations are Snow Crash and Ready Player One. And it's like, guys, did we read the same book? Like, kind of their whole thing was that, like, these games were bad. Actually, the metaverse from Snow Crash isn't really a game as much as it is just reality. It's like it's hard to explain. It's really cool. It's hard to explain. But whereas the Oasis is just a video game that happens to function like a replacement for reality. And while, like, I've seen that people are like attempting to build versions of the Oasis or the Street or whatever. It's like, no, the point is that we don't want that. Like, the Oasis wasn't the core problem with the world of Ready Player One, but it definitely was a large contributing factor. Like, so many people spent so much time looking for Holiday's Easter egg that reality, I mean, that's not what everyone did, but the people who did spent so much time doing it, they ignored reality itself. They lived in the Oasis, essentially, as much as you actually could. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's probably really cool and might even like help some people, but by and large, it will be a negative. Like, in the end, these huge artificial... This song always reminds me of... Like, I feel like this should be playing in, like, an analog horror series where something really fucks up happening on a VHS tape. Like, this is, like the song being played, and it's an advertisement for, like, Bond's Burgers, or Especially that where it goes dun dun, or like it's like the same note plays twice, or like come to Mandela County or Mount Greylock or something. Don't worry, Maze Technologies is completely normal and definitely doesn't want to eat your soul. God, that is all I can think of about that song. But anyway, I think... I don't think the concept of a metaverse will really ever take off as much as something like the Oasis. Like, I think if someone creates the Oasis, it will almost without a doubt become popular. Really something very similar. Just by its very nature, I think it will be popular with gamers. But I don't think it will ever become a replacement for reality. Like, at least it would take like a generation or two. Like, it would take... It would be such a massive shift or something like that to become, you know, Life 2. And things like it have been created. Second Life was a thing for a long time. I'm trying to think of other ones. Things very closely resembling the Oasis and similar. Decentraland exists. I mean, we're not going to talk about that one because it's a myriad of problems with that. Mostly the crypto stuff, though. That's most of the problems. That one means one. I feel like I'm playing Minesweeper when I'm doing this. And I am really bad at Minesweeper. I think I've beaten Minesweeper on medium difficulty like twice. Ever. And I've played it quite a bit. I think there's so many people who just wouldn't... Like, maybe if the Oasis literally just existed, right? If the Oasis as it was in Ready Player One existed, where... You know, it's like... super immersive VR. I think it might gain some popularity. They never really explain in Ready Player One how expensive the Oasis console is. They mention how expensive it is to get an account for the Oasis. It's 25 cents. But it's never even mentioned or really implied. It's implied that the like Oasis console, visor, and gloves costs money, but it never really gives you a good sense of how much. But you can assume it's probably not super cheap. And so because of that specifically, I just don't think it'd ever take off as much. Even the exact version of the Oasis from Ready Player One. I think there are too many hurdles in the way that would stop it from ever truly being able to become as popular as the one in the book. Oh, that's not it. Right there. I mean, look at VR now. VR isn't cheap, but it's certainly not like overwhelmingly prohibitively expensive. Especially with the Meta Quest 2 being like $250 or something. But look at it now. Still, so few people actually have one, and fewer people, and no one uses it for anything other than gaming. It has no other purpose. I mean, I guess working out, but that's just a form of gaming. Right, they're games that you work out in. Like, I don't think the Oasis would become the workplace of millions of people. Maybe it could. I would definitely could. I just don't know if it ever would. I mean, to be fair, I think a good marketing director could get it to happen, right? Like someone who's like, I really want the whole company to switch over to this thing for who cares why, right? Like, I don't know, they've got like stocks in it or something. Who cares? The point is it's like it's some dude, and he's like, okay, here's this idea. I'm gonna get all of Microsoft to use the metaverse to conduct business. You know the way you do it? You go up to the bigwigs and you explain, hey, I know how we cut our budget in half. We sell all of our office buildings, and we do all of our business inside the Oasis. Because then we won't need offices anymore. You know how much budget that'll free up? Oh my god. Can't even imagine. And that's how you get a whole multinational corporation to let you play video games all day. Thank you for coming to my TED Ed talk, specifically. Not regular TED talk, specifically TED Ed. I am educating. There was actually an opportunity at my school to do a TED talk, and it's like, that'd be pretty cool. I just have no fucking idea what I'd talk about. Like, I'm streaming to probably no one on the internet right now, and I feel like no one gives a shit about what I'm talking about. Imagine, like, being on a stage where there are people in front of you, and then trying to talk about something interesting. Like, that's crazy. And like, if like, at least in this format, right? Like the stream format, someone could like come in, watch for like, 30 seconds, be like, wow, this guy's not funny at all, and then just fuck off, and I would never even know. But if I'm doing a TED talk and someone like is like, wow, this guy's fucking boring as shit, and then they just walk out, you would see that. Like, you were like looking at the audience, and you would see that someone just left. And you would just have to live with that. To be fair, I think of a single interaction that I had like probably 2 years ago on stream, and I thought about it like last night, and I was like, oh god, fuck, I feel so bad still. Like, some dude came in. It was someone who had watched, I think, the previous stream I had done, and I don't really have a chat bot set up. I used to, but I never really got around to it. Not like I've got legions of people spamming things in my chat, and they use the lurk command, and I don't have a chatbot set up, and for some fucking stupid ass reason I responded to the message that I wasn't supposed to see, because when you're using like OBS, the chat is slightly altered so that if someone uses like a bot command, it won't show up in your chat feed. But I responded, and I still think about it sometimes, where I'm like, oh god, like, that dude was literally just trying to lurk, and instead I called him out. Ugh, god, why did I do that? I don't remember their username or anything, but I feel bad. So imagine that, right? But it's like a TED talk. Like you're like someone's like, oh, I'm just gonna like come in and listen for a little bit, and then the person on stage is like, oh well, look at this, we got a new guy in here. What's your name? Well, if that ever happened, actually, that would suck. Oof. Probably more entertaining than the actual TED talk, though. I've watched some entertaining TED talks, but they're pretty rare. And usually, like, the only reason I even watch them is because, like, I already, like I've heard the person doing it talk before. Like, a YouTuber I watch sometimes did a TED talk. They're called Ordinary Things. Great channel. Really enjoy their content. Like, they did a TED talk in Vienna, I think. And the only reason I watched it is because I was like, oh, I know that content creator. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, I never would have watched it. But I used to watch them pretty often for like class or whatever. And then I think everyone realized it's like, oh man, most of these people don't actually say anything very interesting. Some of them really do. But I think they're just on such a tight time limit that oftentimes their true message can be hard to hard to get from their talk for various reasons. But mostly that like they've only got like 20 minutes or something to do the whole thing. And as someone who took like half an hour to explain the story of Ready Player One earlier today, uh, yeah, I would fail miserably. And also that would be, oh my god, the nerves, Jesus. I remember like thinking back to like presentations, like we had this project when I was in eighth grade, I think, where you picked a notable person from the past and you like dressed up like them, and you did this. Um, I don't know if it had to be rhyming, but my speech was rhyming. I think it did. Like this like speech about them, and then people would try and guess who you were. Um, my school was full of fucking nerds, so people would do like one of my classmates did Isaac Asimov, which a great author. Um, never would have guessed Isaac Asimov though, right? Like if I was like, "Oh man, little Timmy, who are you dressed up as?" "Oh, yeah, I'm the father of modern sci-fi." Uh, like what? What does that mean? I also had never read Isaac Asimov at the time. I have now, but did not when I was in like 7th grade. I chose Charlie Chaplin. I don't know why. I just did. Must have been some reason. I had weird things I liked when I was younger. But it gave me an excuse to watch Charlie Chaplin's films, which were still pretty good, even after like 90 years. Okay, probably like 80, maybe 70. But still, most of them are pretty solid. I also was like, man, I can make this speech way easier on myself by just I can just use like cue cards and then make it be like a silent movie. So I only had to do like half my actual speech. because the other half were just little like cardboard silent film things I had made and wrote half my speech on. I still like. I still remember most of that speech. That's how nervous I was about that. Is that now? Oh man, like many years later, I can still pull up parts of that speech from my mind. Like that was. I was so nervous going into that. I remember like standing backstage because like the problem was like you weren't just like presenting to the class, you were presenting to the class and the parents of everyone in your class. So the stakes were pretty high. And fortunately, like for me, okay, so I had like the cane and everything, and I remember I dropped the cane. I was walking on the stage and I dropped the cane, and so I just kind of like rolled with it, right? But it was not on purpose. It was like I dropped the cane, and like I kind of like went to like turn and grab it, and I was like, you know what? No, fuck, no, I can't. Oh god. But fortunately, because of the silent cards, people got it immediately, so I didn't have to stay up there for very long. Oof. Yeah, that was one of the most nervous. Like that's like the most nervous I'd like ever been before. Because there were like 40 or 50 people watching this. This wasn't just like, oh yeah, these are kids I've known for years probably. These are like, oh, these are like, this is so many people. It was pretty cool. I like the idea still. Like I think it was a cool idea for a project. You know, get some public speaking in. It's a very important skill. Clearly, it did me very well. Definitely at the highlight of my life right here. Fuck. I may have wasted a lava source block in Minecraft. Where did any of that start from? Talking about being nervous. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, well, talking about presenting stuff. There were a few presentations in middle school that really got my nerves going. It was like two, because we also had to do this project in 8th grade. It was creatively named the 8th grade project, where you kind of had to like create like a story of yourself project and then present it to like family and friends and teachers. I only presented mine to a few people, because I only had like 2 or 3 close friends at the time. Well, I had like one really close friend, and then like a few people who were like my friends who I just like got to know because they hung out together during lunch and I was also there. So I only presented it to like a few of my teachers, but I was still like super nervous because these were like teachers who were super important to me. So I was like, oh god, what if I embarrass myself in front of my favorite teachers? I don't think I did. I didn't like I remember I don't think I cried or anything, but one of my teachers did, which was that was interesting. She played a big role in both mine and my brother's lives. Oh, there's a bunch down there. So, But one of the teachers didn't even fucking show up. It was my art teacher. Didn't even show up. I don't know what that teacher actually thought of me, because like my school didn't have like a huge art budget, but I used a more than my fair share of it on popsicle sticks. Because during 8th grade, it was 8th grade. I don't know, during one of, it was probably 8th grade. During 8th grade, I had this thing in art class, because I took an art class every year, because they were all blow off classes. Like, it was just like open studio or whatever, where you just like had to be making something, and then the teacher was like, "Yeah, that's a good job doing an art. You get an A." Um, and so I would make these like sculptures out of popsicle sticks, and it got to the point where the teacher's like, I can't buy any more popsicle sticks for you. You're gonna have to like bring your own." So, so that was kind of fucked. I didn't even keep any of them, which is the craziest thing. Like, they're all lost to time. Every single one of them I made is just gone. Like, there are no records of them other than in my own memory. Like, I had a phone. I've never been a picture taker. Like, it's just not something I do. So, like, there's no pictures of them. No. I remember, maybe I think it was all mostly the same one. Like, I think I've always kind of just kept working on the same project, often for long periods of time. Um, and this class was like no exception. So like I was started like making this like coaster, I think, and like I was trying to make like a cup holder kinda, and it somehow went from a cup holder to a Firewatch tower. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Um, and so I kind of just like, so I was like, okay. So I built the whole Firewatch tower, and then like proceeded to like start making like landscape around it, and like trails and trees and the whole 9 yards. And looking back, I'm like, I would probably do it again, right? And I'd probably make it way bigger now, but like no idea where it came from. It was just one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna make something, and then it just turned into something completely different, and then just kept going. Almost like what I'm doing now. Weird, it's almost like my brain hasn't changed very much. Isn't that a thing? The way my brain thinks about art not changing. Okay, some kinds of art. It is nice to finish a project sometimes. So my other artistic endeavors are often they often have the ability to actually be finished. I'm actually pretty close to finishing one right now. I just have to actually finish it. It's just gonna like I'm kind of in the part, like I'm at the point where the project is either gonna end amazingly or everything's gonna go to shit. Like, it looks cool now. I'm really happy with it, but I know that the next step will really make it something amazing, or make it completely fucking terrible. And I think once I get to that point in projects is when I start getting to the point where I'm like, oh, do I really want to keep going? Like, I want to finish it, but also, like, I don't really want to ruin it. like, I'm worried that if I keep going, it'll end up not turning out how I want it to, and it'll just be bad. And I've spent like, I don't work on it very often. It's one of those things where it's like, once a week, one day a week, I'll go and work on it for a little bit. So it's taken me like a few months to make. And it's like, oh, like if I fuck it up now, that would be just devastating. Like, that would suck. And then I'd also have to clean up my workspace, and that would take forever. Mostly because like I've got a broom. I don't have a dustpan for it. So like I don't have any way to get the stuff from the pile to the box that the scraps are supposed to go into. So that's, inconvenient. I've been meaning to grab one for a while, just forgetting. Like a normal person. Recently I've actually like started making to-do lists because I just keep forgetting like the really small things I have to do. Like, oh, I've got some small assignment or whatever that I need to do. Ugh, and I'll kind of forget about it. So I have to make like to-do lists and shit. College, really, you'll either build horrible habits or build good ones. Or both. I feel like last semester, I was building a lot of really good habits. And then this semester, whew, they're gone. One real easy semester, and most of those good study habits, those good homework habits, gone. Especially because like the class last semester that just dumped homework on me. I've got like for the last like 3 weeks, it's been like 10 minutes, and then the rest of it's done in class, like as a class. So, and then my psychology course, like, I'm like, oh, I remember most of this from senior year psychology. Yay. Oh, fuck. There's so many monsters. Look at this. This is unacceptable. I don't think I have any shroom lights nearby, so I can't fix it, but... Oh, they're gone. Like I said, the AI on this server is really fucking stupid. The server's running on a horrible old fucking black laptop over there. In the corner of my room. I could message myself from the server if I wanted to. And so it means that, like, if, like, anything happens, the whole server, like, starts being like, sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you do it a few more times? I don't have a whole lot of block lag, which is nice. That's annoying. But, oh man, I think this song is a little too intense to be in this playlist. It's good, though. Oh, I need 2 more buckets. So yeah, like, trying to get the piglins into the bartering system just didn't work. Because, they were too stupid to follow me. So I had to, like, specifically punch them, because usually they'll just follow you if you're not wearing gold armor. but because of the server lag, they just stopped unless I punched them. So I had to punch them, and then they just wouldn't fall into the trapdoor. And so I then fell in myself, and then I was like, I could do this the regular way, or I could know that I could do it and then just use spawn eggs. Because it was a huge pain in the ass to get like 6 of them. I can't imagine what it'd be like to get like 15 or 20. Yeah. So I used my operator account, which is just this one. There's the server admin. Sometimes, you know, it's sometimes nice to be the guy who runs all the servers, and sometimes it's a huge pain in the ass. Because it's nice, because I run all the servers, which means, you know, I got commands, I got admin stuff, but then also, like, you know, I've got to make sure that servers keep running, which is kind of my fault. Like, really, anyone could run a Minecraft server. It takes like an hour to set them up if you know what you're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, really, it takes about an hour. If you do know what you're doing, and like the computer has any of like the software for it, it takes like 30 minutes. And I've set up like 3 or 4 Minecraft servers. Because, like, you know, I did one on the laptop, and then I was running there for a while, and then we switched it, and then I switched it back, and then I did a modded server as well. A whole bunch of stuff. Made a lot of Minecraft servers. We played on the modded server a lot for a while. And, like, the problem was neither of my friends who played with me really had ever played modded Minecraft. So, at the beginning, like, they were, like, kind of just floundering, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on in modded Minecraft. And I was like, oh, I've used Create a lot. I'm gonna make some shit. And so, like, I kind of built, like, quite a bit of infrastructure and got myself super burnt out super quickly. And then my friends started to pick stuff up, and then I went on vacation, and I think I shut off the servers while I was gone, just in case anything happened. And then I've just never turned the modded server back on. If anyone asked, I would have immediately, but, well, this one I turned back on because I wanted it. I asked myself, I was like, hey man, you know, I know you've been busy, but can I play on, can we turn on the vanilla server again? I was like, ugh, fine. I'll open command line. Ugh, I'll put in the 2 commands needed to start a Minecraft server. Jeez, so much effort. God, these guys do so much damage with such terrible swords. I've got full nether. Well, I don't have full netherite on, but I have full netherite armor. Oh, my chest plate. Because, man, sometimes, you know, like sometimes you just exist, and then you're like, man, I want to fucking play Minecraft. And this project over here has been what I've done every time that's happened. Like, originally it was just like building the cathedral over there, and then it was kind of like making it look better, creating the terrain around it, building the clock tower, building out this whole area, building the factory. And then it was kind of like building up more. Ooh, a bunch of resources I gathered. Oh, nice. So it was just like every now and again, you know, I'm just like, oh man, I fucking love Minecraft. I'm gonna do some stuff on the server. I feel like nowadays this server is here just for me. Like, really, none of my, like, I only have like one friend who plays Minecraft anymore. Because, like, all our other, we have one friend who fucking refuses to play Minecraft with us. Like, we have asked him to probably a dozen times. And he's always been like, nope. He's like, it's not the kind of game I would like. And it's like, but Minecraft is every kind of game. That's like the point. It's Minecraft. You can play anything in Minecraft. You can do anything in Minecraft. That's like the whole deal. It's a sandbox. But he's just never played Minecraft with us. Despite our many attempts. So the server's up for me and me alone. As of now. Like, it's been running, like I've been back for like a month and a half or something, if not way longer. And I've been the only one who's really played on it. And even then it's only been recently. Because it's one of those games, like Minecraft's one of those games that I play for like a lot for a little bit and then leave for a while. Like, I think I've probably gone like a year and a half without playing Minecraft on a stretch. And then I just come back to playing it eventually. And I'm like, oh yeah, Minecraft. I fucking love this game. Really is no wonder why it's... Oh, Jesus. Jesus, dude. Crazy snipes. Ow. Aw. Went up. Come on. Oh. So close. Okay, well, it should despawn. Once something gets far enough into the fog, it despawns. Every now and again, I'm like, man, it'd be nice if someone joined in on Minecraft with me. But also, it's like, we're at that point where every single project will just consume so much time to finish. Like, we don't have any of those, like, oh, I'm just gonna build a quick, 10-minute farm somewhere. It's oh, time to grind for a week and a half to build this farm. So I don't really blame him. Given that I have the amount of netherrack I have mined to gather the blackstone I have needed, and to gather the netherrack I have needed, because you don't realize how little a shulker box is until you're building terrain. Like, the amount of netherrack these cliffs took me, oh my god, you don't even fucking know. Oh, I think when I was building them, I filled like 6 shulker boxes with netherrack at once, and I think they're all gone. I think all but like 2 of them are gone. I think there's like 2 over there. But it probably took me like 8 shulker boxes to build those cliffs. And the cliffs are, it's a single block wide. There's nothing else. It's just, there's like the cliff face, and then it's just empty. And I'm working on that, and it's taking a lot of resources to fill in. Anyway, like, whenever I see someone do like crazy terrain work, I'm like, oh my god. Ugh. It's so hard. It's not. It isn't hard. It's just, it's time consuming, and it consumes so many resources. Like this. This here was not time consuming to do, or it wasn't hard, but it took a while, and it took a fuckload of resources. Building that like river didn't take very long, It wasn't particularly hard. Well, it wasn't particularly hard. It took a while, though. But you know what it did take? A lot of netherrack. This island, yeah, it didn't take very long. It didn't take super long to build compared to other things I've built. But you know, it did take just so much netherrack. And it's just it's the constant of like trying to build cool things. It's like, oh, so how is this to build? Well, it took 3 shulker boxes of netherrack to make the foundation of it. And you just move on knowing that you've spent, well, let's see, how much netherrack have I mined? 92,000, and I've placed 40,000. Okay, to be fair, it looks like 31,000 netherrack have despawned, getting the blackstone I've needed. But almost all this blackstone, like, oh, I guess what does times used mean in this specific context? Times crafted. I would assume that's placed. Yeah, I'd assume times used is like placed. Or it could be my pickaxe, which is at 159,000, but which seems a little off. That seems about right. Like, I've used 40,000 netherrack, and it's just like I've picked up 60,000. A lot of that was probably thrown away though, from before I started this project. But I've placed 40,000 netherrack. That's just so much. And I'm nowhere near finished placing netherrack. Like the farms we need to build, I don't even know what farms we need to build anymore anyway. Like, what do we have left? We have a raid farm. Got an iron farm, gold farm. I guess a witch farm, but those actually aren't that big anymore. Slime farms aren't either, especially in swamp iron farm or swamp slime farms have become super efficient recently. Good old mumbo jumbo casually completely redefining how to get slime balls by creating literally the worst slime farm ever built. Never gathered a single fucking piece of slime in its entire lifespan. Which was like 2 years. Okay, well, it wasn't quite that long. It was like a year. It never made a single ball of slime. Give me the dubious title of worst slime farm. But it's stuff like that we need to make. We have a tree farm. It's all done. My friend wants to build another one though, because he's crazy. And he says that our tree farm isn't complicated enough. I get what he means. Like, we don't have a super crazy, amazing slime farm, or not slime, tree farm. Like, it's pretty simple, but, you know, it's all you need, right? But he likes big, complicated farms. So he's going to build a big, complicated tree farm, and that's gonna happen probably at some point. He already did back when we were in Bedrock Edition. Built a giant, unnecessarily complicated tree farm. And it means we had shulker boxes of spruce wood. But, you know, now that could be fully automated because Bedrock Edition sucks. I am like this. Myself and my friend who likes building farms, we are the sole reasons. Cause like we've had 5 or 8. We've had quite a few people kind of like duck in and out of play on this server over a long period, and I happen to despise Bedrock Edition for multiple reasons. Mostly, recently, it's because you can't play stuff in your offhand, which sucks. Oh my god! Like, it's one of those quality of life things that you know, I didn't really realize how much I used it until I didn't have it anymore. And I kept trying to like put torches in my offhand, and the game was like, nah. What if you couldn't do that really awesome, really helpful thing that every Java player ever has ever and will always do because it's awesome? And that's just Bedrock Edition. It's horrible. I don't get people who can play it. Like every now and again, I'll be on the Minecraft subreddit and I'll see people who have built like these huge, amazing things in Pocket Edition, and I'm like, oh my god, why? There are so many other versions of Minecraft with so much better controls. Look around. I don't like dislike Pocket Edition. It's Pocket Edition. It's classic. I mean, like, everyone ever played Minecraft probably started with Pocket Edition in some way. I know I did. First time I ever played Minecraft. But I'd never, like, go back to it and build a giant city in it. I'm not crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna build this huge cool thing in the version of Minecraft on my iPhone. I'm trying to source blocks that are keeping this from dissipating. System of weird bridges is just gonna get worse and worse. Like, it started pretty simple, you know, just straight lines going out. This used to be an island. It should be like 2 blocks taller though. And I just like started here. I was like, ah, sure. And now look at it. It can barely even be classified as an island anymore. Now it's just like a rocky outcropping. Ow. Heard. Gas. This is actually the first time I think I got shot by a gas while working here. Usually I just... Yeah. Usually I think I'm like far enough from everything. All right. I think at some point everyone like looks at a lava pool or the ocean like, oh, I kind of want to drain that just to show my superiority over the forces of nature themselves. And you never really get the like ability to. It takes so long and so many resources to do that. And I mean, for water, it's just like you can't just like hold right click with a bucket. It's just you're not gonna get anywhere with that. It's kind of fun to be like, oh, I'm gonna like look like this entire section's drained. This whole area is drained. It really gives like a sense of scale to the mass destruction you're doing to, you know, the environment that Striders live in. Or Striders. They exist, and I destroy their habitat. What a circle of life. Imagine that you exist and you're like, oh man, I'm a funny little guy who can walk on lava. Ooh, that's pretty funny. And then someone comes in and takes all the lava. Not so funny now, is it? Kind of just depressing. Oh, what the fuck? Don't worry. The AI means that the lag AI means that they won't even notice me. It's like a cheat. It's a hack. The computer the server's running on is so bad the guests can't even use their higher brain functions. You know, makes working the Nether a lot easier. I used to prefer the Nether over the overworld back before 1.16 because, like, I mean, I still clearly do, but it was mostly because there were no creepers or anything, right? You could always defend against whatever mobs were in the Nether. Like, if it's ghast, it's like, oh, just build a wall of cobblestone, and you just don't even have to deal with them. And for pigmen, just don't punch them, and you're fine. Like, that's like the one thing you have to not do. And so if you just didn't punch the pigmen and built everything out of blast resistant blocks, you were perfectly fine. Nothing would ever even happen. But now it's like, okay, well, there's, you know, piglins, which are just aggressive. You're not wearing gold, so at least that's easy to deal with. I just don't. I don't know. Why would I? So easy just to not deal with. Even though I really should, because a lot of damage. But then there's also like there's hoglins. Oh, those things are dangerous. You have plenty of free food though. They just have fire aspect, and then like this sword, infinite free pork. Where do you think that came from? Think I killed pigs? I only killed one pig on this entire server. Okay, maybe two. I have killed less than 5 pigs. But I have stacks of pork chops. So, you know, and I'm glad they brought that back, because that was actually like a huge source of food in super early Minecraft. Back in the day was pigmen used to drop pork chops. So you go to the Nether, and then you would just eat pigmen. The whole Yogscast song about that. That's actually the only reason I know. The earliest version of Minecraft I ever really played for a long period of time was 1.7.10. Just like fucking everyone else in existence. I feel like that's like everyone's first version of Minecraft. Like, oh yeah, I started during 1.7.10. It's like, oh yeah. I mean, who didn't? It's 1.7.10. It was the update before Minecraft changed forever. I mean, like, truly changed forever. Not the... Oh no, they removed the ability to craft notch apples. Oh, what are we gonna do? It's the... Oh, they changed the core combat system, how you the base way you traveled around the world. Like major updates. It wasn't just like some minor, oh, I'm gonna change the textures like they did in 1.13? It was 1.13. It's the like, oh, Elytra exists now. Oh, shulker boxes exist now. I remember when shulker boxes came out. Like, shulkers have just been one of those things that, because I never really beat Minecraft until the pandemic. That's when I beat Minecraft for the first time. I started a personal survival world during the pandemic, and after I think like 70 hours in it or something, I beat the dragon. Um, and like that was the first time I'd ever used shulker boxes before. Because I never really went to the end. There's actually a huge project in that world that like I kind of want to finish. It would just be such a pain in the ass to finish because it's a giant dome underneath the end island connected to all of the end pillars. And it's like, yeah, that's really awesome. But like I would have to remember I have to find the binder I wrote the dimensions in. And then I would have to figure out what level I was on, like how many layers I had made, find the same shape generator I'd used back then, and and then actually finish building it. So huge pain, and also I stopped because I would have to tear away like I don't know, probably 20% of the main end island. And Endstone is such a pain in the ass to get rid of, even late game. Like, I had full netherite gear, fully enchanted, I had full power beacon, I think. Yeah. It's like, I had, all 9 yards, right? And it just takes forever to get rid of. Even with all of that, it's just like, ugh, God, this is gonna take so long. So I never ended up finishing it. And I don't know, I started playing on here, and I think I preferred having to build 4, right? Like, it wasn't just me building random shit I thought of. It was like, oh, I'm building this nether hub. Well, it's me building random shit I thought of, but with the excuse of, oh, my friends will use this. Copium. Copium. My friends who no longer really play on this Minecraft server will totally use this nether hub I made that goes to 4 locations. They'll totally use this. It gives me more of a reason to build giant buildings. I feel like, oh, that's about right. But it's better than just playing in a world no one will ever really see. At least it's a world that I know people were at least one point active in. The classic coal shulker box, a staple of every Minecraft player's ender chest. I don't know why. And of course, the other staples: 3 dirt, a block of netherite, a brush, and a sword, and a deep slate. As you can see, I very much sort my ender chest. I sort my ender chests every day. Very sorted. Say a bow. Oh, right. I forgot I carry a bow. During, like, while playing on this server, I have added so many random items I just keep in my inventory at all times. Because I never really did. It was mostly just like, oh, well, these are the items I need, like tools and armor. Like, I keep, the ender chest, the chest plate, a bow, food, trident, uh, flint and steel. So my inventory has become far more cluttered. It's far more professional because it's not just tools that I have anymore. It's now kind of everything. Like, if I ever really need something, I usually have it in my inventory. But, oh, that was almost horrifying. But seriously though, if I had one complaint about modern Minecraft, it would be the, like, complete removal of the original soundtrack. Like, it's just not in here anymore. Like, this is coming from Spotify right now. Because, like, I had noticed it playing in version 120, but I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just making shit up, right? Maybe it's not actually happening, and I just think it is. And then I went back and played 1.18, and I'm like, no, there's definitely, like, little to none of C418's original soundtrack really left anymore. And I know why. It's because Microsoft is a greedy-ass corporation, even more greedy than most, because it's Microsoft. And they don't own the rights to C418's music. C418 does. Whereas all the music, Lena Raine and his name's Marcus? That's the name that's coming to mind, but that may be completely wrong. The other guy who makes music. Microsoft owns the rights, full rights to their music that they made for Minecraft. But C418 still has his. And now he's working on some project with Davey Render? I don't know how to say his last name. The guy who made Stanley Parable. And it's like, oh my god, what a fucking team, dude. Like, one of my favorite game developers, well, game writers, I guess. He doesn't really do any of the developing as much. And one of my favorite video game musicians are working together. That's fucking awesome. Like, I have such potent memories of watching Markiplier play the beginner's guide. Like, maybe Jacksepticeye. One of the two. Like, I remember, like, I don't remember what the game was called after all the years, but I was watching the creator play with his brother, YouTuber known as Doug, really good content maker as well. Great content creator, fun stuff. And he had mentioned something I brought up the beginner's guide, and I was like, I feel like I recognize that name, and I looked it up, and just this, like, wave of memories of, like, watching YouTube in, like, middle school and watching a video of someone playing the beginner's guide, and just the raw emotion that game brings up just generally. Oh, great game. I like almost immediately after remembering what it was called, bought it and played it. Stop grabbing. Ugh. I love when my mouse double clicks for no reason. That's my favorite. It happens all the time. Like all the time. Ugh. But man, look at how much progress has been made. Like this whole section's been filled in. Sooner than I know, this project will be done, and then I'll have an entire river I need to fill in, with segments being larger than entire segments of this lake. And then I need to build a castle on top of that river. I'll do the castle first. Obviously, I'm not gonna fill a river with lava and then build a castle on top of it. Because that's what a crazy person would do. Like this bridge, well, it's obviously not finished, but like, I started filling in the lake and was like, oh, I should actually like build this bridge, because it was just like a half-finished dirt scaffold. And it's like, oh, maybe I should build the thing that's supposed to be over the lake instead of the lake first. You know, I should probably be able to cross the lava before I place it. Oh god. Even though I now more understand the flow system, the problem with it is I can't see what block I'm hitting. It's covered by lava, and so then the problem is I'm aiming here, but I'm actually gonna hit that block like that. Like that block is now a source. That one isn't. So then if I do other things, like this block, that block's a source. So then I need to kind of like aim differently, because I'm aiming through liquid instead of just at a block. But you know, I think this will end up being worth it. I have this policy, well, not really a policy, it's more just a thing I do, where I don't ever plan builds. I kind of, I have the idea, and then I do it. Like, I have no idea how this lake will turn out. It probably doesn't look awesome right now because it's covered in lines of scaffolding. But like, once it's gone, right, you'll be standing here and looking out over on a lake of lava. You see, you're like standing here at the end of the pier, and you can see the other dock, and you can see this building, and you see the island and the bridge, and just lava as far as the eye can see, which isn't very far because it's another. And it'll look great. Off my fucking scaffold. Jeez. This guy thinks he owns the place. But he's wrong. I own this place. I built all of it. That means I own it. I hand placed all of these blocks. Sometimes multiple times. And I can tell I'm surprised I've been able to go for this long, actually. It's surprised even myself. I just kind of like Every now and again, when streaming, you're just kind of hit the zone, hit a groove, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. It doesn't happen very often. Sometimes it does, and I mean, this is just like, I think this is the perfect thing to do while streaming, right? Because it's simple, it's kind of repetitive, so it means that I can kind of interact. I don't have to be paying too close of attention. I can just be placing lava, look over every now and again and be like, oh yeah, no one's chatted still, and then just keep going. I remember I kind of did the same thing with my longest ever stream, which was 7 hours, I think. It was a night where my parents were out, so I mean, I didn't really specifically change anything. But I think it was like a Friday night. You know, house was empty, and I just played Control on stream for like literally like 7 hours. I'm pretty sure by the end of it, I was kind of like, you know, like I was probably exhausted because I had spent, you know, like a third of the day streaming Control. Love the game. That's a long time to be playing Control. That was pretty cool. I remember like beforehand, I was watching a streamer. It was like, oh man, like this is like a long stream. Like they're like, oh, I think this is my longest stream, and it was at like 5 hours. And then like that night, or like the next day, I did my super long stream. Something like that. I was commenting on how I had done a 7 hour. Every now and again, I'd be that guy, right? Like early on, where I'd be like, well, you know, I would love to keep watching, but I gotta go stream now. And it's like, oh, fuck, I used to do that? Jesus. I just used to be like, it's, I don't even, like, I was doing it in like that, like, double meaning way where like it was like, yeah, I wanted to advertise my stream, but also like it wasn't all just for advertisement. It was kind of some like, you know, not a whole lot of people watch this streamer. It was like maybe 200, which is a good amount of people, like an amazing amount of people. But like not that many. And I think I was relatively active for a while in their stream chat. So it was both the, oh man, I'm gonna get free advertising for my stream, and also the like, oh yeah, I'm just like saying, oh, I'm heading out of this stream because I have something else I'm doing. And I remember, I think I asked that specific streamer one time, like, you know, how do you kind of get past the starting? Because I had been streaming for a while at the time, back when I used to stream consistently in some way. And, you know, they're kind of like, well, I don't know, you just kind of got to keep going. And the problem is, right, I know that was true, and I've always known that's true. I'm just really bad at it. Like, yeah, sometimes I'll do what I'm doing now, and it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna stream for a while, and then I stream for a few hours. I'm like, man, that was a good time. I should stream more often. And then I never do. And I say it's like, oh no, life got busy. It's like, I don't know, no more busy than it has been. My winter break was 6 weeks long, but I didn't stream. I could have. I actually think I thought about it quite a few times. I just never did. That was a waste. Oh well. Like I feel like every now and again, I would like look at my follower graph and notice that like when I stopped streaming, like for whatever reason, that time, I happened to have like just had an uptick in followers. Like I was like starting to get some kind of traction, and then I just stopped. And it happened like 3 times. And I never learned, you know? It was always just like I recognized the pattern and then never did anything about it. But then again, I feel like streaming is this weird is this weird mix where like you need to be skilled and lucky and original and creative and lucky. Like a lot of even like relatively large streamers, like yeah, a lot of it's luck. Like any like there's a lot of skill involved as well. Still a good amount of luck. Um, because you know people have to there have to be people who are watching new streamers, which isn't super uncommon, but it's not overwhelmingly common. Ooh, hit. And then the person who would, watch your stream and continue watching has to be one of those people who then will find it and then keep watching. And then that just has to like keep happening. And well, that's not exactly a common occurrence. There are so many people are like what are doing what I'm doing right now. They're yelling into the void for no other reason than that they are throwing their hat into the ring to be chosen by the gods to get that luck. And some of them, I don't usually look around in new streams, but the people who do have often said that a lot of the streamers streaming to nobody, it's because they're not talking. There's this weird feeling that you shouldn't waste your breath unless there's someone watching. I never really had that. I kind of always had the stream like you're streaming to 10,000 people because there's a reason people who stream to 10,000 people are where they are at now. And it's because they always streamed like they were. It was always that talking, the interacting with chat if it existed. Right, that's half the battle right there, is being having the ability to talk about random shit for 4 hours, even if you have no one to bounce off of. And anyone, even the greatest improv people ever will tell you, yeah, it's a lot easier to talk and make jokes and do other things when there is someone to bounce off of. It's just how it is, right? But a person who's good at improv will be able to not. They're able to do their craft without someone to bounce off of. They probably won't enjoy it as much, but they can. And that's the real key. You need that ability. I have multiple times when I've stopped streaming, I've been like, oh, you know, I would stream more, but you know, there's no chat. I've got no one to bounce off of. But then this shit happens, right? Where a friend popped in for 30 minutes, fucking 3 hours ago, and here I am, still talking about random shit. Though I have found often, when I am running out of things to say, I often default to talking about streaming because it's the thing I'm doing at that moment. Like, yes, I'm also playing Minecraft, but also, I've said most of what I can say about Minecraft right now. And part of that talking as if someone's there is not repeating yourself that much. Still can. It's just, it's bad form. Unless someone specifically asks about it. Alright, that's that area completely clear. Look at that. Problem is, you kind of gotta, like, if you want to really clear somewhere, you gotta work from every side. You know, like, just by how Minecraft liquid physics works, you gotta work from the edges in, but also from every edge in. Get in the lava. Thank you. Damn, he was one shot. Alright, so my plans for the rest of my lava area. I feel like I'm gonna build more buildings around it. But there's something I want to do with the cliff. Obviously, there's already a house on top. But I've been kind of wanting to build a castle up there as well. And the problem I'm running into is a lack of build height. Well, like that's like my worry. I haven't started even planning. I don't have a concept of what I want it to be. I want it to be the Red Keep from Game of Thrones. But the problem with that is the Red Keep is really tall. Like, even if you remove the building, the lead up to it is really tall. And that's like part of what I want. So I don't know if I'll be able to build a keep on top of the cliff. But I want to, that's kind of one of my goals. Big old castle in the Nether. Because I built a tower, I built a clock tower, a cathedral, a small fishing village. But the original plan was always to build a castle. Like, since like early 2021, when this world first started, my original goal for the Nether was to build a castle. And I just never have. I've considered it multiple times, like, my original plans, like, I was always gonna build a castle somewhere. Originally, either it was gonna be inside the Nether, or it was gonna be in the overworld. Like, originally I was leaning towards in the overworld, so I wouldn't have to deal with the Nether as much. Clearly, I no longer hold that sentiment. But I've always had like a build palette for it. It's gonna be the same build palette I've used for every other building in the Nether. It's gonna be Crimson Wood, Blackstone, or not Blackstone. There's gonna be Blackstone in it. Deep Slate, just red and black essentially. But I've never gotten around to planning it. So I need to... Well, like I said, I don't really plan anything. I need to get around to thinking about general design ideas. So, well, everything's planned. You can't fully do something on a whim. But it's about as unplanned as things can be. Which is like, you know, maybe there's like a shitty MS Paint drawing of my general idea somewhere. That's usually my artistic process, is I have a basic idea and I either start building it or I start creating it, or I open up MS Paint and I'm like, all right, let's get the very, very basic idea on paper. I haven't done that for a while though. So I usually do that for physical art instead of in Minecraft. I have planned a few builds somewhat in MS Paint. Somewhere I think I still have basic drawing for my starter base. And it's planning of I'm gonna put caves in this mountain. I'm gonna fill the caves with other things. I think I have the general layout plan of that. It's somewhere. I could find it if I looked probably. But I don't really care. And it's literally like 3 lines on a screenshot I took. So it's not exactly a deep dive into the creative process of building a Minecraft base. More of just a look at how bad I am at drawing with a mouse. I'm no better with a drawing tablet. I've used them before, and I'm a little better, but I don't have an overly steady hand when it comes to fine lines. Like I sometimes can, but most of the time they turn out very poorly. So I usually don't do them. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, Jesus. Oof. Oh, the panic. Oh, God. The panic of... Okay, I don't know what level of the lava I'm on. I'm gonna hold shift to go down. No, wait, that's fucking stupid. I'm gonna go up. Oh, netherite armor, my beloved. Actually, isn't a bad place to be. Deep is this? A lot deep. Got it. Like, at least in the lake I'm making, it's only 1 block, so I can just place a single block, and it's like, oh no, I'm out of the lava. What a daring conquest I had to do to get back to the mainland. Oh, I can definitely feel I'm running out of steam. I think I'll fill up these shulker boxes and then I'll call it quits, because it's been almost 4 hours. I don't know how long I planned to stream for. I kind of just didn't plan the time. It's kind of just like I kind of want to stream this because my vinyl player isn't working properly, and that's usually what I do. Is I listen to records, and I place lava, or I gather lava. And because it's not working properly, because I got a new one, and the arm with a needle on it isn't weighted properly, so it skips, and it's super annoying. It's terrible. It's truly terrible. but it's only on certain records. And those aren't bad records. I've tried it on my other player, and they're fine. I don't know, maybe they're just like... Actually, they're really thick. I don't know why. So I was like, I'll stream it, because there's gotta be some proof of the grind I did, eh? Otherwise, how are people gonna believe that I did a moderately large grind in Minecraft? There's gotta be proof. And also, I've been building this for like... I've been like building this area for like a year, and only like my close friends who are on the server have ever seen it. It's like, well, I mean, that's like, I guess who I'm building it for, but like, a lot of effort into it. I kind of want some other people to see it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that was in the lava again. Like, I've spent like a year keeping the server running, you know, making backups. I actually need to do that. I haven't done that in a while. Collecting mob heads, and what do I, you know, who's ever seen it? You know, what do I have to show for it? Actually, I'm gonna grab some more food. Like, I've built pathways. I built this barn. I built this ugly, fucking, horrible house that I'm gonna tear down. Don't do that. Because that won't take very long. Because, like, seriously, this thing sucks. Like, oh my god. I know, like, maybe with Windows it would be fine. Maybe with Windows it'd be fine. It's just, I think with Windows it'd be fine. Yo, like, try and put some spots. Let's see. This wall, could you go like there? Stairs are there, so maybe. And like a small window back here. And I guess just do that up. Right, so. That's one of the things I've learned recently is if a build is looking kind of flat and bad, Windows, baby. I'll even put 3 in this wall. What a miraculous difference that would make. Hey, look at that, it would even fit 3. And then this one's already got one. I can't put it. Well, I guess I could put some in the roof, but I'm fine with the roof. Yeah, that'll probably help. I don't have to build them first, and well, that would take a while. Okay, 1. All right. Well, I'm exhausted. Strangely enough, given that I haven't streamed in like, I don't know, month, and I've just streamed for almost 4 hours. So, I'm gonna end this stream here. If you enjoyed, follow. If you didn't, don't. I don't even know why you're still watching. If you didn't enjoy it, that's kind of weird. There's a Discord. I'm pretty sure there's still a link to it in the About page. I don't remember what that's actually called. The thing under the stream. You can join it if you want, I guess. All that's there is like one dude shit posts there sometimes. And see, when was the last time I streamed? Oh, that was August. Oof, yeah, that was 6 months ago. That's crazy. Um, so yeah, every, I don't know, 6 months or so, I'll stream for a, I stream pretty somewhat consistently for a month or two. Well, look at that. Anyway, about every 6 months or so, I'll randomly appear in that Discord and be like, hey, I'm streaming again. So you can join that and be one of the people who gets notified when I randomly stream for some reason, because I don't know. So yeah, I will see you next time I stream, whenever that is. Goodbye.